G'day everybody, how you going out there? It's Seano here with another live stream. This is our round 5 live chat after the football because Seano had no power all today, so we couldn't do it before the football. So we're doing it after the football, so I can hang out with you guys and have a bit of a chat. Hope everybody out there is doing very well. Hit me with one of those subscribes if you haven't done that already. That would be awesome. Thank you for all the support everyone's given me so far. So hit me with one of those subscribes, like the video, and if you're watching this video in the future, leave me a comment and tell me what you are doing this week. So I hope everyone's doing very well out there. We got Corey here already. Jagger get in the mud. Oh, he didn't get much of a chance though, did he? They didn't give him much of a chance again today. Poor old Jagger. He was almost like their best mid a few weeks ago, and he's not even getting it going there anymore, even with Hewitt out. Alrighty. This is my team. How is everybody? Yep, Jagger in the mud, Corey says. How are you today, Corey? Everything seems to be working well. Sarah, get out of the game. Yeah, Sarah, get out of the game. Yep. I thought with Hewitt being out, it might have been good for us, but it still didn't do much for Jagger. Helped, kind of helped Walsh. Walsh was on 50 points at quarter time. Went on to get a reasonable score, I believe, but not a awesome score with the old Peatling tag. What did he end up on the end, crew? What did he end on? Around 110-ish. He ended up on 117. So we'll take that. Could have been a big one, but we will take it, especially, I guess, he kind of tagged for a little bit in the first quarter and they dropped it, and then it came back hard in the second quarter. Geez, if you got Rochelle, who I was a bit worried about, 4 goals and 127 Supercoach points in this game just gone by the Crows and the Blues. Yeah, not bad if you got him this week, right? I was worried about his midfield time with the old Isaac Rankinine. How much did he get in the end? Let's have a look. Let's bring this up over here if we can. So Mr. Rochelle got 48%. Rankinine got 27%. So whether that flip-flops around in the future, we'll have to see. How else do my other players go? A bit of McAndrew action. 84, we'll take that. He had a few free kicks, so we'll take that. You know, not too bad, not too bad. We're not going to complain about that from a rookie price. Not at all. Do you enjoy the footy, Causa? Or Corey? You weren't that fussed. I don't really support either of them, so I didn't really care. Surely Michael Voss is close to getting the boot. Surely he's close to getting the boot. But who are the relevant Supercoach players in this actual game that's just gone by now? Wayne Malera, if you took the risk, he got 110. I was keen on him when he first came out, and then he dropped that stinker. But he's had a few decent scores. Did he take a lot of kick-ins this week? He took 5 out of 5, and Worrell took 2. So how did Worrell do for those people who got Worrell? A bit of a down game for Worrell, 68. And Cook, 63. And if you've got Rory Laird, maybe in your draft team, like I do, got a 67. So there again, a bit disappointing. No other relevant, I would say, Adelaide players, not unless you've already got rank in, which I assume you haven't. Walsh, if you're like me, a lot of us will probably be happy to see this 117. Nick Newman, 90. Probably not what I wanted. I wanted to see a little bit more if I was thinking about getting him in. Would have liked to see a little bit more, but, you know. And Will Dirksen with the 39. Don't know if that's enough even as a 99k for us to be considering next week with his job security not being too solid. With, I believe they've got a few outs, don't they, in the Blues in the back line. So they've got that other rookie Dean that they seem to like better than him, and the main guy. Who's the main guy who is out there? Wiedering is the main guy. You going Farrow for Watkins or Selwood tomorrow? Corey, would you like to see, we got 6 people here, would you like to see the crazy BS that Seano is going to get up to? In regards to trades, yes, Seano is gone back to crazy Seano. We saw I was going to do crazy Seano a few weeks ago and I chickened out. This week it's already locked in. So it looks good on paper, but could hurt me in the future. So if we have a bit of a look at my team, I'll go to undo changes. This are the trades I'm doing in my team this week. So I was going to do Steen, but everyone's been talking up Farrow. So I thought he looked good preseason. I thought he looked okay in the first couple of games. He's going at a high efficiency rate. So I was like, all right, I'll get him in. Parrish, Carroll, I have to do Carroll to be able to get Farrow in, and English out for Pickett, Gawn, and Farrow. Now you say, Seano, this actually looks all right. These look like some good trades. I kind of like it. The problem is, if you go up a little bit, it leaves me with exactly $0. Exactly $0. We talk about rookies destroying their cash gen. I think Seano is going to destroy his cash gen in his team. So there'll be no upgrades for me for a week or so. We're basically just going to have to downgrade rookies. I used a boost to do it, and we're down to 30 trades. Now, there is a little bit of thinking behind my madness. I don't know if my thinking is correct, but here goes. Here's me trying to justify it to you guys, my friends out there. All right, so Farrow seems like he's going to be the better rookie. Hopefully, Scott doesn't, screw us over and get him dropped. He's got the DPP, which is not a big deal with DPP changes coming in this week, but he looks good. He doesn't look like he needs a lot of possessions to get, a decent score. So, I'm thinking him out of Steen. I'll go him, even though I'll show you why I was thinking about Steen and why this could cost me in a second. Gawn, well, you just want the best. He's just killing us, and we wanted him from the beginning. We didn't get him, so I don't trust Jackson to be able to. He's delivering every week so far, but I don't think he's got the same ceiling as a solo ruck like Gawn. And I think this gives me a bona fide vice captain choice. And I looked at Grundy, but Gawn's run coming up seems better to me. And so I kind of want those points. For the extra 40K, what's 40K going to get me? And the other one, Pickett, well, I'm thinking about Pickett as, is Pickett a top 6 forward? And I'm thinking he can be. He might drop us a few low scores. He might get tagged. But is Pickett a top 6 forward? Yes. And as you see, because I've got $0 in the bank, I can't really afford anybody else. I can't afford someone who I think is a top 6 midfielder. I was looking at Lockie Whitfield, even though I couldn't afford him on these trades this way. But I'm still a little bit worried about Lockie Whitfield. He's only had the one decent score. I'm not too sure if he's back or if that was just a bit of a flash in the pan. The role seems to be there, but I'm just not sure if he's back. If he's back, awesome, but I don't want to pay up if he's not back. So before I always make the mistake, let's do this. So that's the crazy trades. What do you guys reckon? You reckon that's mental, leaving myself $0 in the bank? It just means something that I probably already knew, that I'm going to be a little bit up behind other teams when it comes to upgrading. Over the next, people might be getting in another premium next week, and I won't be doing that. I'll only be doing downgrades for at least 1 week, potentially 2 weeks, and maybe trying not to trade at all if there's no rookies that I really like. But what I do like is the team looks okay. I got a projected, not the projected means much, of 2,206. And since my dodgy round rank so far, and my season rank of 65,832, which I think I will, more than likely I'll drag back in over the next 5 to 10 weeks. But as my trades and money runs out at the end of the season, it might stretch back out again. But I'll aim for my pass mark of a top 10%. So how many? 181,000 teams. So I have to make the top 18,000. I think that's very doable. That's a pass mark in my book. So also I'm lead in my league. So this is what I'm thinking. So My season rank, yeah, so it's out the window now. I'm going to concentrate on winning my league, the league that really matters to me. And I've already, by some miracle, even with my dodgy crapola scores, managed to win every league match so far in the league with all my mates. My bragging rights league. And this week I've got a win where I should win. Oh, don't forget, crew, if you want me to go through your team, you want to chuck your team up on the screen, go to that Discord link, put it in the post my team here, or you can even tell me the name of your team in chat and we'll go through the rivalry section. Either way, and we will do that. So as you can see, this is the live ladder. I don't know how to turn it off, the live ladder, but I should win this week. If we go to the game day again, so if I can pull off a few more wins early season, save a few trades over the next few weeks, maybe at the end of the season, I'll be in a position like top 4 is really helpful, just like in the real finals, in your league finals to win. So if I could finish in top 4, I'll be very happy. See, this week I'm predicted to score 2,206, and my opponent is predicted to score 1,776. And I saw he's got some problems. He's got Kerno in his team. He's got Fraser in his team, which could work out for him with all the, I was going to say with all the Bulldogs being out, but I believe Richards is back. So if you've got Richards, well done. Hey, Nightfall, how you going? Backing out of bringing in Rochelle. Yeah. I mean, the only thing you can tell yourself, Nightfall, is he kicked 4 goals. So he's not going to kick 4 goals every week, but geez, that's a good score. For all those people that brought him in, he definitely rewarded them. I was thinking he was going to score 150 or 160 after that first quarter. And I was also thinking that Sam Walsh might score 150 as well. So giving you the evil eye, Sam Walsh, even if you did get tagged. Seano, how you going, Seano? Seano and Seano, we make a good match. Yeah, I thought he was on for a big score too. He was 40. I thought he was 50 at quarter time. 116 is solid, yeah, but you feel rich. So I think it's still good, but yeah, he was tagged. At least he didn't just completely crap the bed and get and I thought he was going to get an 80 or a 90 there for a stage after the tag started really hard in the second half again. So I'm glad he got over 100. Could have been better, but, lots of handballs. Like, how many handballs did he? He had 1 million handballs. 20 handballs and 8 kicks. That's a lot of handballs. But I guess that was even before it started getting wet. So you feel Richards could be a late out, Corey? Ooh, hopefully not, mate. Hopefully not. We were talking in chat because I got the time. Didn't get the time right. They were having a chat in chat about who to bring in if you needed either a midfielder or a ruck for less than 615k of English. People were saying Holmes. Is anyone worried about Holmes's finger? I want to give the finger, but I desperately want to give the finger there. But Seano will behave himself. Yeah, is anyone worried about Holmes's finger, not Seano's finger? Is he going to be able to pull the finger out? Boom, boom. Karen, how are you, Karen? Nice to see you. Bedtime. Thank you for dropping by and saying hello, Karen. It's always a pleasure, though. Lucky you benched Jagger tonight. Have to wait till teams on Friday to work out how to do your trades. Jake's out. Upsets. Jake's is out? Jake's is out? Is this a thing? Or isn't he just on the extended bench? Oh, he's managed. Well, who do I depend on? Lindsay or Selwood? All right, I guess we go Selwood. And maybe I can use him as a loop. How does it work? How's the looping action going to be? When do Bulldogs play? Bulldogs play Saturday. Oh, I can't because they play for the same team, unfortunately. Yeah, I can't because they play for the same team. Can't bring Jakes on. All right. What about the old Selwood and Farrow. I could try Farrow. If he has a bad game, have a go. Bring on. If I could try Farrow, I could do this and this. And then if Lindsay still could be dropped, hopefully not, and then if Farrow has a really terrible game, we'll bring Lindsay on for Jake's. Otherwise, we'll take Farrow's score. No, that means we have to have Selwood. I don't want Selwood on the field. I trust more in Lindsay. Surely the Eagles versus Geelong, the ball is probably going to be back in Lindsay's pocket a lot. So I think I'm not going to try that business. I'm just going to leave it like that. I am going to do the Blamiers and Grill. It's annoying me that Dyson Sharp is not back yet either. I don't know if that's annoying you guys, but that's annoying me. I didn't know Jakes was out, but that's a bit disappointing. Yes, it's a little bit disappointing, Karen. It is for sure. Thank you. I hope you have a good weekend too. Seano is working this weekend, so that means my round review video won't be out until Monday afternoon, probably instead of a Sunday, I would say. Nightfall, you're contemplating on skipping Farrow and bringing in Murdoch this week to free more cash up for Cogs next. For Cogs, Cornelio? Is that what you mean? You're thinking about getting Cornelio in? Don't know if that's going to be a good idea, really. I don't know if that's something Seano endorses. Hasn't he had a few average games? $122, 60, 102, and 43. I don't think I'd be bringing him in. I don't think I'd be bringing him in Cogs, if that's what you mean. Don't think I'd be bringing him in myself. Is Lindsay playing? We don't know yet, Karen. We are hopeful, and Seano will have a little hissy fit and throw his dummy on the ground and stamp his feet a lot. If he's not just because of the Supercoach wise, because of the Eagles wise. I've already had my rant about how Liam Baker is the worst kick in the AFL. And even though he's got great leadership skills, he's still the worst kick in the AFL, and we should have never got him in the first place, or we should have just got him as a coach, and Lindsay should have at least his position, or play him on the field but ban him from kicking the ball. That's fine. I'm happy to play him, just ban him from kicking the ball. Caniglio out. To free up more cash. Oh, from Cogs. You're getting Murdoch for Cogs. I understand. Now you're selling Cogs and getting Murdoch. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I guess Murdoch's going to come back. I think Farrow could be good. Why can you not get both? Can you not get Farrow this week and then get Murdoch as a downgrade next week from someone else? I mean, I like Farrow pre-season, but everyone's been raving about him this week, about how he's almost a must-have. I don't know if he's a must-have, but I think he's, probably it was enough to convince me, so probably do the opposite to whatever I'm doing, because he probably gets a 30. The other thing I was going to do is I still got Cooper Duff Tyler sitting here on the bench. Now, Cooper Duff Tyler has a break-even of 63. I think he's only outscored this 63 once. Plus, this week, they brought in Bailey Williams into the team. So, well, actually, probably the best thing, even though, again, complete dummy spit coming from Seano if this happens, if Duff Tyler gets dropped, he can't lose me any money. And then potentially, if Steen does well, I could still pick him up next week, because Duff Tyler, he's only made me 50K, but he could potentially lose me money. So I was going to get Steen here instead of Farrow. But everyone's been talking up Farrow, and I'm a bit of a sheep. So, and I kind of did have the feeling pre-season that I liked him. So I didn't like Steen pre-season. I've never heard of him. So sometimes it's best to go through with that gut of, at least I know I looked at him. I know I liked him. I know I think he looked good. And Essendon need someone like that. And he's got a really good, I think he went at a high DE, very high efficiency rate. on both games of like 90%. I'll just make sure I'm not lying to you guys about that. But I believe he was very, very efficient. Farrow, he went at a 91 at this game, which is unbelievable, really. And this game, he didn't score. Oh, let's go. So 4-3. It's the same game. Bombers versus Kangaroos. He went at a 92. And he was scaled down. He had 3 clangers, though. And I don't know how you can go at 92% and still have 3 clangers. And he scaled down -14. So if criminal data doesn't do that, that's a 64. So, not too bad. All right, Ben, Gawn, Pickett, Grundy, Whitfield, or Jackson and Holmes. What do we think, crew? What do we think for Ben here? Gawn, Pickett, Grundy, Whitfield, Jackson, Holmes. I think I would take out Jackson, Holmes, and I would go either Gawn, Pickett, or Grundy, Whitfield. Now, I've gone the Gawn, Pickett, so I might have to go that. The other thing I don't love about my choices this week is this round 16 bye, where I'm giving myself 6 players out, and I cannot choose any more Bulldogs, any more, who else is on this bye? So I can now have no St Kilda players, no Bulldogs players, no more Melbourne players, and no Cats players. That's no Nas. If someone started to go off, I couldn't have that. If Steele started to kill, I couldn't have that. I can't have Holmes. I can't have Bailey Smith till after this bye. So, bye-wise, Grundy and Whitfield, because they both have, like, this bye, it's a good bye. Brisbane, Bombers, Eagles, and Sydney. You're probably not going to have too many players out on that bye, and Whitfield has the best bye. I'm not 100% sold the Whitfield is back yet. I want to say that he is. He has still got the role. He's still taking lots of kickouts. But he's only had one good game. So since I'm putting the mockers on him, he's bound to do, and I'm not getting him, he's bound to do very well. So I expect Whitfield to get 150 this week. Lock it in. I think they're both Gawn and Pickett, or Grundy and Whitfield, depending on if you're not ruining your buy structure like me. Now, you're saying, Sean, if you understand that I'm ruining my buy structure, again, because I'm going to concentrate on the leagues a little bit now, because I know I'm not going to win the 20K or the 50K, you can kind of afford to tank one of the buy rounds in your leagues. If you're concentrating on leagues, it's not a big deal. And the best one to tank is that last one, because by that time, hopefully I would have done a lot of trades and I'd have almost a full, well, I doubt very much I'll have a full Primo team, but I'll have as many trade in Primos as possible by that time. So when we get to that buy, I'll either be up against a team that's going to destroy me, or I'll have, as many Primos as I possibly can. And for the earlier buys, if we look at my earlier buys, I've only, round 12, I've only got 1, 2, I've got 3 Primos out. That's it. Round 13, I think I've got pretty much nobody out. Round 14, I've got the two Collingwoods. There's so 4 out on that one. Round 15, I got pretty much no premiums out. So just the one round where I have 4 out at the moment. So I've got a lot of leeway coming into the buys to get players off those early buys and try and win my league matches. That's kind of going to be my aim. If I can't win legitimately by having a good team with a who's worth a lot of money and lots of primos, let's try and cheat by stacking the buys and winning, 4 out of the 5 buys, hopefully, or at least 3 out of the 5 when it comes to that way. Ben, how might the new Bombers this week affect Farah's score? The new Bombers coming in, you mean? I think he can score low, don't get me wrong, but he just doesn't need a lot of possessions to go high. He's a rookie. He could easily get another 40 like he did the first week. So don't get don't get too excited. I'm certainly not. I'm getting him in over Steen. So Steen's going to score 110 and he's going to get a 30. We know that's going to happen. Why can't I look for Essendon earlier and I can't find Essendon? I've got my glasses on and I'm still blind. Here we go. So, well, Elijah Sardis is a midfielder, and so is Zach Johnson. So you assume they're kind of like for like. Jordan Ridley could be an issue. Jordan Ridley could take away some of his kick around in the back. That's probably the big one we have to worry about. Nate Caddy and Sullivan Roby are both forwards, so they probably shouldn't hurt him too much. He is named on the field in the back line though, which is nice. So naming on the field always makes me a little bit happier with Ridley. So I think, I think he could be okay, but don't get too excited about the 90. I think you're probably looking at a 60, 70 player who can give you an 80 or a 90 on a good day, but can still also give you a 40 or a 50 on a bad day. So I think his job security seems all right with that. I'd be worried about Ridley coming in and him going out. So the fact he stays in the team makes me fairly confident as you can be in Brad Scott, that he's going to stay in the team for a while. Corey, you're going Jackson this week over Gawn because don't want to use a boost this week. Unsure on Steen, can't get Gawn unless you trade Windsor. I think it's okay to trade Windsor, Corey. I think you've given him enough chances to get you that big score, and he just hasn't delivered. He will get a big score down the track, and it's going to be the week you trade him out. We know how these things work. We know how these things work, don't we? But you can. But I think he's had his run. He was there to get you decent scores on the ground and make some money, and he hasn't really done either for you. So dropping him down to to a Farrow or using a bit of DPP to get in Steen, I think is fine. I think he's had his run. We've seen that he's not going to be what you thought he was going to be. So I think it's fine to trade him. If you could hold and you got bigger problems, fine. But if you have to get rid of him, I don't think it's terrible. Also, crew, don't forget, like the video. We got 16 people watching now. So make sure you like the video now before you go anywhere, before you run away and get bored of me talking. And yeah, like it. Like. Me likey very much. Or you likey very much. Thank you, racist Seano. Where's Asian Supercoach? Where's Asian Supercoach when you need him? Seems like Trent Livers, he is one of our regular viewers, if you're wondering what I'm going on about. Seano is not racist. He actually has some lovely Asian friends. Seems like Trent Rivers is out of favour. Yeah, I dropped him out of my draft team today, so someone else is going to snap him up. You like the run of Windsor, so holding. Melbourne have a good run. That's why I'm a big Max Gawn and Keziah Pickett man, because I like the run, especially for Max Gawn. Keziah Pickett, I know he's going to get tagged. He's probably going to get tagged this week since I got him in, but are you guys with me thinking now he's really cemented himself? Okay, this was my theory, crew. Not so much my theory, but my stats, right? So the first couple of weeks of Keziah, he wasn't getting as many CBAs. So CBAs for Melbourne. And then the last couple of weeks, they've upped the CBAs and he's looked amazing. So they can't really... So let's see if we go down here. So 67 and 39 in the first 2 weeks. And then the last 2 weeks, he's gone 79 and 82, and Melbourne have looked really good. So... surely they keep that up. And so with that in mind, I'm thinking it's a good chance that he is a top 6 forward. And at that price, I think he's kind of a bargain if he is a top 6 forward. Whereas, I can't see any top 6 mid or top 8 mids or top 6 defenders for that price at the moment. And if we look at Windsor while we're here, he had 56, 52, 45, but last week he had 76% CBAs. It doesn't seem to be a reason for that. Throlstrup, however you say his name, Throlstrup, he had 61 in this week, and Rivers. So Rivers is gone, so maybe that frees up Windsor a little bit as well. So maybe Windsor can get a bit more ball. Maybe Corey, maybe that's a fair keep. Prefer to get rid of Rosa, Watkins, or Selwood. Well, I got rid of Carroll only because I had to. If I could keep, like I said, if I could keep Carroll, if I got rid of Duff Tyler for Steen. But I think Carroll's kind of killed his cash gen a little bit. Maybe he could make a bit of money with another peak score. Watkins is the same. Killed his cash gen a little bit. Could potentially kick it back in the backside with a good score. Did he get dropped this week? Did he actually keep his spot, or are you not sure yet about Port? In, out. So he could still get dropped. He could still get dropped, even though they didn't really bring in. They're bringing in a ruck, a forward, and a backman. And is this week? Is this week? Yep, I didn't. Oh, Zerg Thatcher. Yep, no, I'm thinking of. So a backman, another backman, and a ruck. So he might hold his. He might hold his job. He might hold his job. Max Shuey, how are you, Max? Are you doing a Shuey right now? After this crew, don't forget, get your teams into the post my team here section of my Discord, or let me know what the name of your team is, and we will go through and do them. I think it's about time we do that. Stop looking at my team, the dumpster fire that is my team, and yeah, we can do that. English, Windsor, and Carroll for Marshall, Farrow, and Gawn. You definitely want Marshall in there, so whatever it takes to get Marshall in, as long as he's named and they brought him in. Is he not named on the field, though, is he? So there's still a chance that he could be laid out. If he's named on the field, I'll be a little bit more confident, but they said he should be good to play this week, so I'm assuming that he's playing. So with him playing, yes. Windsor and Carroll. Farrow, like I said, I think he's going to be reasonable cash generator, so I think that's fine. And Gawn, the big man, yeah, I can't argue with that, buddy. I think that is fine. It seems fine to me. I'd be doing something similar. Corey, Dawson, Rao, and Cluggage will be so cheap soon. They will be. They will be. And they will be the ones that I will be targeting when they get nice and cheap. Who else did I think was going to be? There's somebody else I thought was going to be nice and cheap. The only mid I think is very cheap this week, which is not a little bit close to Kasai Pickett's price. Not that I can afford him because I have $0 in the bank, but would be Lockie Neal, who's at like 520. I think that's, if you wanted a cheap bargain mid this week, I know he's susceptible to the tag and all that business, but 520 is pretty cheap for a guy that can smash out a 120 or a 130 in any given week. So if I was going the value way, I would definitely think about doing that. Let's turn the phone down so we don't hear a big ding ding every time you guys put your teams in Discord. The ladies man, yes, we're always happy to see the ladies man. Roddy Toddy. Will Power, nice name, mate. Got both Ed Richards and Cogs, 500k in the bank. Who should you grab? You know, Ed Richards could be back this week. He was named. Now, Corey said he thinks he could be laid out, but I don't know if I'd be getting rid of Ed Richards. If it's only this week, I might hold him if I was you. I'd definitely be dumping Cogs, though. Cogs has made... Did Cogs make you some money in the end? We got him here, actually, from when we looked him up before. Did he make his owners any money? Now, this is one that I managed to avoid. So he's made 40k. It's better than nothing, but it's not what you got him for. So, fine. I don't go, I'm going to say this, and as we've established so far, you do the opposite to whatever Seano says, but don't get Tim Kelly. Now, just look at who's coming back in at the Eagles, okay? So, there's no guarantee Tim Kelly stays in that midfield with all the younger kids. So, this week, you got Elijah Hewitt, midfielder. You got Devon Robertson, midfielder. Both of them coming back into the Eagles team. Like, Tim Kelly's even named as a half forward. I think they're going to let the kids run through the midfield and just give Kelly a bit of a run there every once in a while. The last couple of weeks without, it's then got Elliot Yeo coming back in a week's time. So this week might be okay, but after that, when Elliot Yeo comes back, I don't think he gets the same CBAs. If we can have a bit of a look at CBAs for the Eagles as well, let's see before Yeo went out and afterwards. So Tim Kelly got none in round one. A big 0. And he's got 60, 72, and 74. So, I mean, I guess Dev Robertson was in the team there. Yo was also in the team these ones. So, I mean, maybe it's 60, but I'd expect the 74 to drop back to close to that 60. So, I don't think he's a top 6 midfielder. A forward. So, I think you've got better options. I know he's cheap, but at 400K, I want you to pick someone, if you're in me, 400K or plus, you're picking someone to be a keeper. Now, what is Tim Kelly to you? You got to ask yourself, is he a keeper? Is he making you money? Is he you just want an average score? I don't think he goes into any of those categories. I don't think he's going to make you very much money. He might get to 450, 500 if he went on a bit of a run, if you're lucky, but I think 450 is probably more likely. Is he going to get you good scores? I don't think he's going to give you too many spike scores. I think he'll sit anywhere between 70 and a 110 on a great day, but most of the time he's probably going to get you 70, 80s, and 90s. So I'm not on the Tim Kelly train. Now, I'm a Beagles supporter, so I'm biased, as anti-biased, if you want to call it. But, yeah, so I don't think if you said Tim Kelly or Nas, I'm like, get Nas every day of the week. Nas will get tagged, but one of these days, Nas is going to bang out a 150. When do the St. Kilda play the Eagles? Expect a 150 out of Nas, because we ain't got nobody who can tag him. So I think Nas can go big. I don't think Tim Kelly can go big. And I'm more of a fan of the big ceiling scores. And I also think even getting tagged, Nas's floor is probably, I wouldn't be surprised if Tim Kelly plays half forward at some stage and gets a 40 or a 50. So I wouldn't do it if you were me. But then I was worried about Rochelle, who kicked 4 goals and scored $1 million. Yeah, Rod, Ed is playing. Yes, Corey said he thought he might be, a sneaky laid out, but we have to hope that a beverage doesn't do that to us. Otherwise, we would have to drink a lot of beverages to get over it if we were Ed owners. Vicentini might play dual ruck against Marshall and TDK. That's a good call, Corey. That definitely could happen. Might be the call. They might play a dual ruck setup. Sharp Bombers is your team, Will. We'll definitely check out your team. Rod Todd, yep, somebody sent me one of his videos, but I refused to watch it in Steam. I'm not gonna highlight your message because I don't want anyone to even see his name. He just seems like a low human being. He just seems like someone that's not worth us even speaking about. So all love goes to DR and Shorty, who seem like the nicest humans on earth. Thank you, Rod. Appreciate the stream. I appreciate you being here. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys. If you appreciate it, don't forget to give that thumbs up, the good old likes up. Let's we will do the Sharp Bombers first before I lose your, and then we'll go to Discord. Jamie, is that so? This one is you, Jamie. Rod, you are Jamie. No, Sorry, Will, you or Jamie? This is your team, Sharp Bombers. Dacos, Roberts, did you get Roberts in or did you have him already? If you already had him, well done. And if you already had Short, well done too, because they're two picks I was way too afraid to have. And the Short one seems to be paying off, mate. Short burnt me like an out-of-control bushfire last year, and I wouldn't have gone anywhere near him. And this year, he's just rubbing my nose in it. He found some dog feces, and he's just rubbing my face in it this year, saying, look what I could have done for you. Fonte's back this week, nice. You got Windsor and Selwood. Jakes, as we know, is out. And Sarong, what a legend he was last week. Richards, hopefully plays for you this week. He's got the big green tick, going to like that. Parrish, Broon, Dersma. Wish I had to pick Dersma as an Eagles boy. How dare I not support the Eagles by picking Dersma? Smith, we need to start a petition, bring back Smith's CBAs. Grill, Blamiers, Oliver and Caniglio. And you talked about getting rid of Caniglio, didn't you? Sharp. When's Sharp going to come back? We need bring back Sharp as well. He's not on the injury list and he's just getting no love. He's getting no love and he's sitting there. We don't know what's going on. So you're like me. You're a Duff Tyler man, buddy. Are you an Eagles supporter? No, I guess you're a Bombers supporter. You got Jackson, English, and Duff Tyler. I'm a little bit worried that Duff Tyler might lose us some money this week, mate, but there's not much we're going to be able to do about it. I do think he could bang out a 70 or an 80 or even 100 on his day, but I don't think this week's going to be the week against Geelong. Captain choices this week, Holmes and Bailey Smith are big captain choices. Even with Holmes with a broken finger, he's still probably going to go off against the Eagles. Sheasel, McInerney, Reed, DeGoey, Budrick, Lukosius. You got a bit of a mid-price madness, buddy, but I kind of like it. I assume that you've got McAndrew in flex. You got Parrish, who I ditched this week. Lots of mid-prices there, which means you're going to have to do a lot of upgrading. Hopefully you haven't used too many trades yet, but you do have, a reasonable cash gen. You got reasonable cash gen, and I think you could be okay. If you got lots of trades left, you'd be doing really good. If you burned a lot of trades to get all these guys into your team, I'd be a little bit worried. But overall, I think you've got a nice midnight madness. Where's Ralph Wiggum when you need him? Where are you, Ralph?
Me fail English? Me fail English?
That's impossible.
Impossible.
Nice team, buddy. Nice team. Petrarca not playing mucks up your forward line. Did you hold, Karen? I was thinking about getting him in this week, but I did not. So we'll get through some other people's teams as well. Willpower, 90 plus average as a forward. Are you talking about Tim Kelly? I don't think he will keep it if you were talking about Tim Kelly, buddy. I don't think he will, I don't think he will be a 90 plus. Nope, don't think he will be. I think he'll be more like an 80 to 90 at the end of the season once all the midfielders for Eagles play. So Michael put his team up. Sinclair, Houston, McKercher, Coleman. Got Coleman in, starting to pay off the owners. Still got Windsor, very nice. Bontempelli, Butters, Dacos, Walsh, Byrne, Cook, Smith, Blamiers, Grill, Carroll, Watkins. I know my friend Michael, he had a bit of a mid-price madness team at the beginning of the season too. Jackson English, she's also overseas doing some stuff there. Sheasel Myers, Pickett. So that looks the same as me now with Flanders. It looks the same. So, yep, nice one, Michael. I like your team. Looks good. 26k in the bank, 34 trades. So I've only got 30 trades. So and 4 boosts. So even if he boosts, he'll have one more trade than me. So that's pretty good. Rod, good point. Season agreed. DR was saying same thing in stock market about players you're selecting at 400k having to be keepers. They do. Don't. This is not the time to bring in the risky ones. If you're going to bring in the risky ones, you have to want them to be a keeper. Like, if I'm bringing in Kelly, I don't think he's a keeper. For those of you who brought in Rochelle, I think it's fine if you think he was a keeper. For me, I wasn't sure. He kind of proved me wrong today. One game is one game, though, and he did kick 4 goals. But, you know, if I'm paying $3.90 for a player, which I think that's what he was, I'm wanting in whatever line they are, even the forward line this year. I think the forward line, you're going to want almost 100 average, which is higher than normal. We're going to have a lot of decent forwards. We're going to have Petrarca. We're going to have Tuke Miller, who both should average 100 plus, you would think. So we're going to have Sheasel, which should average 100 plus. I think Cozzy could average near 100. So I think picking the players like Kelly, if you picked Rochelle, thinking he could average 100, which looks like he could in that role with those CBAs, all the power to you. So this is Oliver. We'll just call him Oliver. Lindsay and Farrow on the bench. So he's got Farrow in this week. Bont, Dacos, Butters, Anderson. So the same exact midfield as me. Obviously, he's probably cracking the craps over Anderson and his performance. Gawn and Jackson, the two big ruck setup. Sheasel, Pickett, Flanders, Rochelle. Yeah, see, this guy, he's got a team like mine, but he's got an extra premium back here, which scares me. He's already got, like, if McKercher turns out to be a premium, and Clark doesn't do this very often, there's a lot of people who are already one primo ahead of me. So if we count them out, I like to count out the primos. I've got 13 potentially in my team. He's got potentially 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 potential primos already. So that's why I don't like my team. I'm already a primo behind people like and traded English, Buderick and Fonte to Jackson, Farrow and Pickett. Yep, seems like a nice trades as I've written here. A very nice. Oh, I will catch up on the chat, everybody. I never miss anybody. We're not trying to not make it 4 hours like we did the other day tonight. But I will not miss anybody or your team if you put it in that post my here section or let me know in chat. We will have a look at all of them. What about Josh Rochelle? Yes, Josh Rochelle. Yep, he proved us wrong. I think they're different beasts, Rochelle and Kelly. The only person I see taking Rochelle's CBAs is Rankinine, and they're both playing together now, and he's not at the moment. Maybe because he was a bit injured, last year. They're just warming up Rankinine to more CBAs. But Rochelle seems to be doing fine, and if he keeps those CBAs, he could probably still score well. So Beastie's team here, Sinclair, Ash, Clark, and Worrell and Houston, going very deep in defence. Butters, Holmes, Callahan, Sarong, Walsh, Bruin, Smith, Grill, Blamiers, Carroll, Murdoch. Very nice. Jackson and McAndrew, and then Sheasel, Flanders, Reed. So cheaper in the forward line, deeper in the back line. I've gone the opposite with my team at the moment. I'm stocked the forward line and gone not so big in the back line. We'll see how that pays off. Normally, I prefer the way that you've done it, Beastie, because I think people like Worrell and Houston and Ash and Clark and Sinclair can score big scores. But then when I saw what Pickett can do, I also think Pickett is capable of scoring a big score, which is why I got him at 520 this week. Ed Richards is a very small chance to play, but Bevo says unlikely, bearing a miracle. Even though they put him in the team list, Corey, have you got a link or something to that where it says that, where we can show the community just to warn them? Because I've also got him in my draft teams, and I would like to know for sure. So, Ranger, we got you here in chat, don't we, Ranger? Appreciate the advice, Will. No problems, buddy. Take all my advice with a pinch of salt. Seano has been pretty average when it comes to advice like this year. If we just looked at that last team, my advice last week was Jordan Clark was a very consistent number one trade-in option, and he got a 50. So be very careful with the advice Seano gives you this year. I do my best, but I am not perfect or infallible or even sensible sometimes. Okay, this is from, when did you see this, Corey? Bevo, probably Ed Richards isn't out with a possibility that it might be a miracle and he's fine. When was that? Did you hear, Corey? That's a bit disappointing for them to name him and then to go. But he's out. We put him in the team sheets just to confuse all the Supercoach players, but then we're going to drop him at the last moment. Rod, you say then it's a case to pivot to a GWS player? Yeah, a Whitfield or a Finn Callahan, or is anyone sold on Clary yet? Clary Oliver? Rod Todd, not you. Yep, had them both. 452k. You jumped 52k. Kuma, how are you, Kuma? Ranger? You got you here, Ranger? Your beautiful red mop. Sinclair, Dacos, Houston, Grill, Sarong, Selwood with Jakes and Lindsay. Pretty annoyed about Jakes being managed. Bevo. Maybe he'll be. Is he listed as an emergency? Any chance that Jakes comes in for Ed Richards? Probably not, right? Bont, Dacos, Butters, LDU. I wish I had picked LDU. Walsh, Pickett, Smith, Blamiers. This is another reason I picked Pickett as well. I think I could easily chuck him in the midfield like you've done here, Ranger. If there are other forwards that put their hands up, like a very cheap Darcy or Thrill Thorpe type of players who start hitting their straps and getting some big scores. The big boys of Gawn and Grundy, that's a very nice looking combo and a very two big scary scores last week. Sheasel, Flanders, Buderick, Robertson, Lombard, Steen, Baroon. Yeah, so I was tempted if I had gone the other way with the 100k by going down to Steen from Duff Tyler. Next week I could potentially have gone down another rookie and then gone up Buderick to somebody else. But no, Seano's going to be an idiot and leave $0 in his bank. Where's the idiot? This is for Seano, not for Sherry this week.
You are so stupid.
Am I?
Am I? Idiot!
That's for me this week. That's for me leaving $0 in my bank. Not advisable to any of you crew out there. Causa, here you are, buddy. Rankinine versus Rochelle, Rod Todd says. At the moment, it's Rochelle, but you'd assume Rank is going... you assume Rank's going to pick up his CBAs, but maybe not. Maybe it's just too dangerous around, forward. If Rochelle's kicking 4 goals from the midfield, I guess they're going to leave him in the midfield. Wasn't that interesting? So, Causa, you here? I know you're here. Sinclair, Ash, Clark. Don't be trading out Clark, people. He'll come back. I know Seano jinxed him last week, but he'll come back. I'm not saying anything about him this week. If you like, I'll say he's bound to have a... Actually, I'm going to do everyone with Jordan Clark a favour and say he usually doesn't play very well in Adelaide. He's got a very bad record there. So he's bound to get you 100 now. Easy. There you go. You can thank me later. Windsor, Sarong, nice. Like I said, Windsor's CBAs are picking up, Causa. So, it could be good. Bont, Dacos, Butters, Holmes, Finn Callahan. I love that midfield. That's just a brutal big boy midfield. Broom, Grill, Murdoch, Smith, Blamiers, and Watkins. Very nice. You got Jackson in. That is good with a McAndrew. I think Jackson will be solid. I don't think he'll be putting up Gawn and Grundy scores all the time. I think he is definitely capable of doing it. He's got the Eagles in a couple of weeks where he's almost 100% going to go 150 plus. But, But besides that, I think right around this 120 is probably what he's going to get you every week, which is very nice. Shees, Flanders, Reed. I like the Reed pick. I think it's interesting. Is he going to be a top 6 mid forward? Probably not, especially once Young comes back. But he's nice and he's there and he's making you some money and he's getting you decent scores. I mean, all good. Buderick, Robertson, Marshall, Lindsay, Philippou, and the Roses. Yep, I like it, buddy. I like it, Corey. Very nice. Very nice. Are you bought in Reeves for Hawks in the ruck for English? I don't know. I'm not a Reeves man. I'm not on the Reeves train. I'd almost prefer that you get Steen and then get invest that money somewhere else. Like, Reeves isn't very far away from dropping a low score unless he gets the number one ruck role. I think he's only doing, less than 50% time on ground. So he's going to have to keep doing pretty good to keep generating that cash at the price you're paying for him. I'm not big on the Reeves pick. Will Power said, yep, Adelaide and Flex. Karen said, yes, I'm sorry, I'm a bit behind, but let's catch up on chat before I do the Sperminators team for Zeph. English cogs to go on. We'll get to you. We'll leave that like that. So thanks, no worries. You're welcome, Will. Josh Tracy will be cusp of top 6 to 10 forwards. Yeah, Corey, there's always a key forward. There was Darcy last year. There's always a key forward that kind of pushes for it. Tracy looks good. He's clunking everything. He can have, he still have a low game, but, you know, the problem is picking which key forward. Is it him? Is it Darcy? Is it Thrillthorpe? Who's going to be the key forward this year that does it? Like, it's not like in the old days when you had Buddy Franklin, as much as I'm not a big fan of Buddy Franklin. He is an awesome footballer, and you could pick him in Supercoach pretty consistently, and he's going to score you big points. There haven't been too many key forwards like that since then. Maybe Nick Rewalt is another one that used to score pretty consistently and pretty well. So maybe he's the guy from this year. You just got to ride the bumps. There'll be a bump occasionally where he doesn't get any goals. And, you know, maybe he gets a really good defender on him and he gets a 60 or a 70. But, yeah, he looks very consistent. He looks very good. And if you want a bit of a pod, I'm all over it. Okay, yeah, that's who you were referring to, Tracy. 6 to 10. I think 6 to 10. Yep. That was your team. Kumar, that was your team. Nice team, buddy. So you changed your trades. Let's go back and have a look at your team, Ranger. Here you are. You changed your trades to Watkins and English to Farrow and a primo mid. Undecided, but probably Callahan. I like Callahan. I think he's still affordable. He's got the great buy. You know, we've seen he kind of had his breakout year last year. I think he's still going to be good. You had Oliver, but you fixed your mistake. He's actually doing okay. Emergency is Jake. So if Richards get dropped, maybe he does come in. The only thing I think is because I said managed, maybe they give someone else a go. And it's not a like for like. Let's have a look. Let's bring it up. Where is the game? Where is the Bulldogs game? Who is the like for like? So the emergencies, Lewis, Lachlan McNeil, and Lockie Jakes. He could be. I don't know much about these two. Can anyone else tell me? Is Will Lewis or Lachlan McNeil a midfielder? Sam Davison could play in the midfield for them. You know, usually plays a wing, or he could go. Joel Frazier probably goes into that following role, maybe Sam Davison plays as the half forward, and maybe Jakes comes back in a great world. They're both small forwards, so there's a little bit of hope. Well, hope for the people with Jakes, not so much hope for the people who have Richards. I guess if you've got Richards, you want Richards to play over Jakes, I would assume. Jagger might get forward DPP, 29% heading in today, so going to be close. Would assume if he does get forward status, he's someone to be keep long term. Yeah, hopefully he gets his CBAs back. What are they doing down there? Like, he looked like they're almost their best midfielder in the first couple of weeks, and now they're not playing him in there just to get Sarah. And, you know, when Hewitt wasn't even there today, which I thought might help him, but, I mean, he looks so clean in there. Today was a mud fest, but, you know, he looks so good in there. Surely you have to play the kid in there. It's not like you're going to play finals or anything. Rangard, we did you, Causa. Yep. So here we go. We're up to Zephyr. You in chat, buddy? Yeah, held Petrarca, Karen. Very nice. Thrillthorpe still has his back problem, so still not right from pre-season. That's why he's not dominating. Oh, we're almost catched up on chat, so let's catch up on chat. Kuma, both small forwards. That must have been about the Western Bulldogs guys, so that's good to know. Hey, Paris, how you going? Paris Pole, good to see you, mate. Tough decisions this week, mate. Did you see my decisions? Seano left himself $0 in the bank. I don't think I've ever left exactly $0 left in the bank. I don't know whether... I think it is a sign. It's a sign that I'm an idiot for doing it. Bring him out. Let's bring him out. Stimpy. Bit of Ren and Stimpy.
You are so stupid.
Yes, I am.
Am I?
Am I?
Idiot!
Yep. That's what I get for leaving $0. So annoying, Bruno. Corey, yeah, I think they've said that Bruno's definitely not getting DPP. Oh, didn't they come out and say, Corey, that he actually played quite a bit back last game? So if he plays in the back line for most of this week, he might actually get it. I thought I heard somewhere, because we were saying that he was definitely not going to get it. And then last week, apparently he played a little bit more time in the back line. If anyone's got the stats, he's 27%, and you got to get to 30-something. So you'll have to play pretty much the full game in the back line. So that's why Zach Williams is getting 45% CBAs, Kuma says. For the Bulldogs, you mean Bailey Williams? Zach Williams? Doesn't Zach Williams play for Carlton? Am I missing something, Kumar? Okay, are you with us, Zephyr? Sinclair Stewart, like the Stewart pick, mate. Braver than me. Whitfield, Fonte, Jakes, Sarong, Grill, and Lindsay. No for Carlton. He got 45% CBAs? Surely, why would you be giving him CBAs over Smith? Make me the coach. Anyone want to pay me? I'll do it at half price. I'll come over there and coach Carlton half price. Any Carlton fans out there want that? Get a Seano rant at every quarter and half. I guarantee a rant at least once a match. Bontempelli, Dacos, Butters, Walsh, Oliver, Caniglio, Brune, Smith, Cook, Blamire, Watkins. Cook didn't light the world on fire today, did he? He did not light the world on fire, but he did okay. Am I saying he got a 63? That's fine. That's fine. You can live with that. I'm missing the Cook train. It's already made 100K. Probably going to make another 20 or 30 this week. That's fine. Jackson, English. One of those, I guess, probably if I was this guy, I'd be looking at Caniglio and English potentially out this week. Sheasel, Flanders, Buderick, Robertson, Philippou, Marshall, Roses, Lombard, and McAndrew. Seems solid enough. Again, a little mid-pricey for my liking, but what can I say? I did start Parrish, Young, and Blackiston as mid-prices, which we will not be doing next year. Don't forget to remind me, crew. I came up with a bit of a plan. So I'm not going to start any mid-prices. We have the rule of maximum of one per line. But next year, I think what I'll do is I'll start guns and rookies, and I'll leave a little bit of chunk, not a lot of money in the bank, but enough, like a couple of hundred, 200 to 300K, to pick the best mid-pricer. And so like then this year, I could have left out Dacos. I could have left out Young. I could have left out Brune. I could have left out Windsor. I could have left out Blackiston. I left 300K in the bank. And then when I saw Brune was the best, I get Brune. And, pay up for him like getting the best, rookie in those on the bubble day. Use a boost to get the best mid-pricer as well, instead of starting with these guys who are just like big black holes in my team. 6 injuries this week. Then I won't be able to afford anyone, Paris, to buy. Don't say that. I won't be able to afford to buy anyone if we get 6 injuries. Kuma instead of Jagger, Zach Williams. Let's have a look at that. Is that actually what happened today? Zach Williams, 45% CBAs, and Jagger Smith only had 30%. I mean, What did he score? Zach Williams, he got a 73. 15 disposals, 10 contested, 220 meters gained, shit efficiency, couple of clangers. Smith had 19 disposals, bad efficiency as well, 3 clangers, 10 contested possessions off. I mean, just put Smith in there, would you? For the Supercoach sake, just put Smith in there. Nightfall, Zephyr is you? Ah, cool. What are your plans this week, buddy? What are your plans? Sheasel, Flanders, Budrick, Robertson, Phillip, Marshall, McAndrew, Roses, Lombard. I think, yeah, English and Cogs. We talked about it, didn't we? You were talking about getting rid of Cogs and English, so you did mention that. I do remember. Seano does have a memory of an old man, which is similar to a goldfish, where, they swim around a circle and they've forgotten. But you did tell me, I believe you were saying you were getting rid of Cogs and English for Farrow and someone maybe. Were you talking about Kelly? Were you the one I was trying to walk out, Kelly? You got more CBAs than Jagger tonight. That should be, crucify Goss. Max Shuey, you were in chat, weren't you? I asked you if you were doing a Shuey. Voss has to go, Karen? Yes. Thank you for staying awake, Karen. I remember you said it was near your bedtime, but thank you for staying awake and chatting with us. Voss does have to go. How early can he go, though? I heard a discussion on this the other day where they were talking about who goes first out of him and who's the other coach who's gonna more than likely going to go, where one has a year left on his contract and Voss doesn't. So if you don't have a year left on your contract and you're definitely going to fire him at the end of the year, why not just fire him now? I guess you want to have somebody else in mind. You're watching in bed? Nice. You can fall asleep. When I used to stream on other platforms, people used to say the same thing. They used to fall asleep to the sound of my voice, which I don't know how you could possibly do that. But they were Americans mostly, so they'll listen to any Australian accent. This is show. I promised Brad Supercoach Pro that if I had a shit score this week, Paris, and I'm going to do, I don't know if anyone watched his round video, his round review this week, but he had a massive spray on his team and it was hilarious. And I said, I'm doing that next week. If I get a red arrow and I drop places again next week, any significant amount of places, like if I drop 5 places, I'm going to do it. But if I drop like 20K or something next week, big spray coming from my team. Prepare for the round. Seano will be unleashed in the ring. YouTube better watch out. I'm going to be back to the Twitch days of there will be naughty words and all types of things in there. Thoughts on Kitty Coleman, Kumar? I think the ship has sailed, but I think you are awesome if you picked him and kept him. Bont's fourth cousin for Shuey. I like your name, your team. You got Zorko. That's a good pickup. Nice pod. Houston Grill Sarong. Yeah, you got Bont, Butters, Richards, Anderson. Hope Richards plays for you this week, mate. If Richards doesn't play, you don't look like you got much sub action going on there, buddy. Maybe you might want to swing someone like, maybe even Chuck Shees up there. Try and work out a way where you get maybe putting Richards in the flex. No, that doesn't work. Try and work out a way where you can cover for Richards just in case he doesn't play. Try and work it out. Too hard for Seano's brain at this time of night, but try and work it out. Gorn McAndrew, very nice. She's Flanders, Rochelle. Good, well done, Rochelle pick today, mate. Budrick, Robson, Marshall. Wing hanger, you're probably looking to hang him out to dry, I would say, wing hanger. He's had a couple of reasonable weeks, right? He had that a couple of good weeks, and then he hasn't the wingman. He hasn't been a very good wingman at all. Why not? Why can we not find, is it WHIN? Is it Seano can't spell, or is it what's going on here? What is going on here? Wind. It's wind hanger, not wing hanger. You idiot. You idiot. Sean's full of hot wind. I should have known that. Had a couple of average weeks, right? 100, 86, and 65. Looks a bit rough with a break even of 119. Yeah. If you could move him on, if you don't have bigger problems. Looks like you might have already made your trades. Okay to keep him another week if you have to. Yeah, you got Farrow in, so you must have already made your trades. You probably got rid of English for Gorn and got Farrow in, I would say, buddy. Which that's me. Yes, that's exactly what I did. No wonder. Yeah, that's a great trade. It's what I did. Gorn. So you probably got Gorn in, let's say. And you got Farrow as well. Gorn and Farrow, yeah. Keeping wing hanger. Give him another go. Give him a revive. Nightfall, yep. So, that's Shuey's team. Jaguars like 51% of time in the second quarter. I mean, in the second half or in the second quarter, when it rained really heavy, maybe they were protecting the kid. It did piece down. Like, did you see how heavy that rain was? It rained hard. Maybe they just thought he's more an in and under tough slide in big bodied guy. Maybe they were just protecting him a little bit. But I'm hopefully that's it. They were just protecting him because he's a kid, and they figure next week, if it's a nice dry week, he comes out and he gets more CBAs and he gets more of the run of the thing. Karen says she's watching bed. Ed Richards, they said it on Jonathan Simon Twitter. You already read that today, Corey. Okay. Jonathan Simon. Okay. Whoever that is. We're all going to die at some point. That coach. Kitty has a low break even, a big dollar increase. I'm seriously thinking about bringing him back in. I've traded him out. Oh, Karen, you traded him out, trading him back in. Oh, I don't know if I could do it. I don't know if I could do it. Once your trades are done, Sinclair, Clark, McKercher, Houston, Fonte. Hopefully Fonte gets you a decent score this week, mate. Sarong. I don't want to jinx any Whitfield owners. I don't like to jinx anyone, but since I'm not getting him, it would be nice for Whitfield not to get 150 this week, but I'm sure he will because I'm not getting him. Bont, Dacos, Butters, Anderson, Finn Callahan. I really like your midfield. I pray that Anderson gets better. Does Raul and Petrarca back in the team help Anderson? Are those boys going to go in? Because it's obvious Anderson doesn't want to go and get his own ball in the last few weeks. So I'm just praying that Raul and Petrarca get the ball and give it to Anderson, because he seems like a bit of a wuss and doesn't want to go and get his own ball. He likes to stand around the packs and watch the ball. He doesn't like to go and get his own ball. So hopefully they give him the ball and he starts scoring again. Nice. Gorn, McAndrew, Sheasel, Flanders, Rochelle, Cook, Robertson, Marshall. Very nice, buddy. Yep, very nice. I like the look of your team. It looks nice and solid. We're hoping for some different scores. Supercoach God. The Supercoach God, or, I watch your channel all the time, mate. I was watching you and Brad the other day, you funny buggers. And I like your work, mate. I watch your channel all the time. So if it is the Supercoach, it is the Supercoach God, I think, from your little logo up there. Here we go. Here's someone that actually knows what they're talking about, as opposed to Seano. So you are trading out Parrish. Yep, seems very reasonable. Ed Richards. So yeah, God, you've seen this tweet as well. Hey, buddy. Well, everyone in chat is telling me that there's been a tweet out today, Supercoach God, saying that Richards is almost definitely going to be a laid out, and that it's a miracle if he's going to play. This is what my friends here in chat have been telling me, and I kind of lean to believe them. But he's going to dump a lot of cash too, but If it's only 1 week, I don't know. I think depends on where your trades and stuff are, I guess, as well. Like I'm burning my trades, buddy. How many trades have you got left? After this boost this week, I'm down to 30. I've wasted 10 trades to get my team to look like what a starting team looks like. When I count my premiums, I've got 13, which is what I kind of like to try and start with if I can. I've made 10 trades to get a starting team, which is brutal. Nightfall says, yeah, English and Cogs to Gorn, Farrow. That's what last team. Yep. Next week, either Lombard or Roses to or Watkins or Murdoch, or Watkins to Murdoch. Yep. Would I trade in? Let's see what your team looks like, God. Sinclair, Dacos, McKercher, Houston. What are you leaning towards, God? Are you leaning towards getting rid of him? Who are you getting again instead? Oops. Steele. Wish I had a pick Steele at the beginning, mate. If I could have my time again, Steele and LDU would be in my team. If only we could turn back time in Supercoach. Whitfield, Steele, and Farrow. I mean, I love getting rid of Parrish. I know that much. Farrow could easily outscore Parrish this week, which, which is a sad state of affairs. Even though we'll all get rid of him this week, he'll probably score 100, but still. I mean, I like who you're getting in. The only thing I'm wondering is it worth would I keep Richards for another week? I mean, I'm not too sure. With the trades I've used, I'm not too sure. If I had any doubt that he was going to be out for more than 1 week, I'd 100% trade him because I think he's going to drop $1 million. But if it's only 1 week and it wasn't going to do anything for me, if it's not going to win me my league match, if it's not going to make a massive difference in my, overall score, if I've got significant coverage, do you have significant coverage? You got Blamiers that you could potentially play on field. Carroll, who still might actually play. We know Jakes is out, but you got Lindsay and Selwood like me. I like your back line goes fairly deep, which is nice. It's nice for us to get a nice score out of Walsh today, buddy. You got a cash gen up here forward. Whitfield. Oh, your defense goes very deep with Whitfield there. The only other thing I would say, and you're a smarter man than me, so if you get Whitfield up here in your defense, are there any other defenders that you really want? Does that, because then it only really leaves you one spot, right? Unless you plan to boot Houston, and I'm still praying to God that Houston is a keeper. I might be slightly delusional, but I'm praying that Houston is a keeper. And if I was you and had your team, I'd be praying that Houston and McKercher is a keeper. Does that mean you can't get Nass, or you get Nass in the midfield? Maybe you could have Nass as your flex there for later on if you fancy Nass, or Ash, because you'd have Whitfield, you'd have one spot for an Ash or a Nass or something. Just want Ash. Don't know if Nass comes good with the tags. Yeah, I'm with you like that, buddy. I really want Ash. Nass I want to look at. Nass will be after his buys, since I've pretty much maxed myself out on the round 16 buys. I'm going to have a nice long look at him. I'm going to have 16 games worth of look at him and see if he's killing it at that time. If he isn't every second or third week smashing it out of the park by that time, I think I won't go there. If by that time he's worked out a way to work through the tags, or he's getting some more help from his teammates or something, then I will consider it. Thanks, Supercoach God. I love your work too. I know, like all of us out here in the content creators, you put in a lot of hard work, and we all appreciate it. And speaking of which, for all you guys and girls out there, it's time for me to plug a like. 19 people watching. Hit that like button now. Look, you've got that legend Supercoach let's try Supercoach God in chat. And while you're liking my channel, if you're not already liking his and subscribing to his channel, get over there and like and subscribe to his channel. Does some very good stuff in the Supercoach community. Always worth a listen to. She's flan, but yeah, I like your team, buddy. I like your team. As for those trades, I think your team looks good with them. 31 trades. You still got one more trade than I have. Yeah, I think it's fine. I don't know. For me, I think it's a personal thing whether you want to just... When Richards comes back, is he a top 8 midfielder? I guess this is a discussion we're going to have. What do you think, God? And what do you think the other people here in chat? When Richards comes back, is he a top 8 midfielder? What did he do last year? We know he had a good season last year, right? But how did he go? The Bulldogs. Richards. He kind of had a breakout season last year, right? So he averaged over the year 111. He's still averaging 109 because he only played one game. Why is he only averaging... So, that's because of round 0. Of course, he scores 144 in round 0. Yeah, the old fake primo trap, hey? The round 0 fake primo chat. But then I can totally understand why you were getting. Look at last year. Look at it. Especially with Libba out. If he comes back next week, surely he's just bulk CBAs and... I mean, what's the injury? Is it an injury that's really going to hamper him? Is that going to be a problem? But if you look at last year's scores, I mean, he's got some big scores. A 150, a 120, a 140, a 138, a 120, a 139. I mean, he's got a couple of 60s in there and a couple of 90s, but overall he had a really good year. And let's have a look at the CBAs from last year as well. How do we do this? Go straight to home, I guess. CBAs 2025 Western Bulldogs. So he was pretty much the number one man with Bont and Libba. Matthew Kennedy down and half. Is that different from this year? Bont, Libba and him had the same amount of CBAs last year. So it's not like this year, it's kind of the same. It's not like he's still getting the most out of everybody. So Libba's out now. Maybe he gets a little bit more if he comes back. I don't know. If he could get that form again, I'd definitely be thinking about keeping him. But can he get that form again? Mate, the great. Richards should be a top 8. Slow start, though. If you told me he's going to be a top 8, I'd say keep him. And what's his injury? What's the actual injury that he has? Is it something, it's like a leg or a knee or something? Because knees aren't things that, look at that. That makes me sad just looking at that. We're down to the bottom. Ed Richards, a knee. Jones is out for a month. I thought he was only going to be out a couple of rounds. And Liberatore is out for 2 to 3 weeks. So even with Liberatore in the team, he still seems to be the number one man on the CBA. So I guess I'd be tempted to keep him and save the trade. I'd be pretty angry if he came back and started smacking out 120s after I traded him out. You just put in your tweet, or make sure you go and check out Mr. Supercoach God's tweets and the reasons why he doesn't like holding Richards. Go and check that out. Because he's going to plummet in cash. I didn't really take that into account, but yeah, he is definitely going to drop $1 million. That Hunt break even of 173. Yeah, then cheeky buggers like me are going to try and pick him up in about 4 or 5 weeks' time. If he comes and gets 100, 120, 200, he could be down as low as 550. And if we change this to like 100, say he gets 100, takes him a little while to warm up again, he could get down as low as 538, 530, 540, between 530 and 550, which is a kind of a bargain for someone if you think they're going to be the top 8 midfielders. So I understand that, Supercoach God. If it gets you the money to do something somewhere else and you're happy to burn that trade, where we're already burning trades are like, something that burns a lot. Karen, Richards will hobble off for sure. Well, hope Holmes wasn't a mistake last minute trade last Monday. I'll trade Holmes in you'll trade Holmes if he looks injured this week. It's just a finger and he played through it. So I'd be keeping Holmes. I think he'll be a top 8 midfielder as well. If you can play out the game with it, they'll probably just tape it up or give him a few injections and stuff. That's in the Discord. Thank you. Here we go. Make sure you go and follow this man on Twitter or X or whatever it's called anymore. Supercoach God, I have to admit, I used to always plug my X and I've got 8 followers, so I've gave up. I can put it in chat now. Let's put it in chat and see what's happening. I have an X. I do put stuff out there when I have videos and things, but I swear to God, there's 8 people following me, so I'd probably prefer if you just followed me on Twitter, on Discord, and in that is my Twitter, tweet, X, whatever they call it. But yeah, the big 8 followers, so there's not a lot of people listening to Seano, so I don't usually say a lot in there. But if you'd like to like my video now, that'd be good. So Mr. Supercoach God, the legend that he is, says, just seen Richards has the Mullen tag. And Jordan tag next 2 weeks. No, thank you. With an injury cloud, possible scores like shit this week, we'll pick him back up at 450k. You're a smart man. And that's why we watch your channel, buddy, because, yeah, if he gets injured and he gets tagged, so let's go back to what if he doesn't get those scores that we said he was going to get? What if we give him, against Sydney, we'll give him an 80, and Geelong will give him an 80. Say he gets 80s in both those, maybe a 90. Comes back for injury against Hawthorn. Even, does Nash tag? People talk about Nash tags or whatever, So, I don't know. We'll give him 100 in this game. Comes back, gets a 90 and an 80. Has a rough go. Gets down to 520. And then even Freo, I don't know if they're employing Wagner. They did say, be warned, crew. Freo play Geelong this week, right? They said they've got plans for Dacos. I don't know what those plans are, but just be warned, they said they had plans for Dacos. So in my other fantasy team, I do have the vice captain still on Dacos anyway. Does that mean they send Wagner to him? Is Wagner in their team this week? I don't know what their plans are, but if their plans are to tag him, I don't like those plans. Is Wagner in this team? Corey Wagner is in the team, so little bit worried if I'm putting the vice captain on Nick Dacos this week, maybe. Thank you for putting that in Discord, Supercoach God. That is some very smart thinking. And you're right. I think we could potentially pick up I don't know if he gets down to 450k, but maybe 520k. I mean, anywhere near 500k, but 500 to 530, that's the bargain of the week. The good Sammy's bargain bin. Thank you, Tiger Matty. I'd like to take the piss out of myself, so I don't take myself too seriously. So that's my X with my 8 followers, if anyone would like to follow. I usually put in there when videos come out, and I will put stuff in there if I hear late outs and things like that. I'll also, but more Discord. I'm more a Discord man. So better off to, if you join my Discord, where you can chat basically to me or the crew in there at any time. I have pinned it to the top of the chat. So probably much better, unless you just want to make me happy and feel like I have more followers and I'm more popular than I am. You can join my my X or Twitter. But in general, if you want to get the, don't want to say the real Seano experience, that could be that could be something you don't want. But yeah, join Discord. We chat a lot more in Discord. We always chat. There's always chat going on in Discord. In your bank is $100 thanks to Richards out and Holmes last week. I can beat that. I can beat that, Karen. Seano's got $0. A big duck egg of dollars in his bank. For the first time ever, the perfect score. No, I'm not scoring 3,000. I've got $0 in my bank. Supercoach God, Nash will go to Bont. Yeah, so I'm a little bit worried. I do have my captain on him this week, but I have the vice captain on the newly brought in Gorn. I don't feel like I've got any other picks. I'm just going to barrack that Bont beats Nash. Maybe they put him forward and he kicks a few goals. Even though, I guess, without Richards, if he doesn't play, and without Libba, he's going to have to play midfield. And it's not like they're going to tag Richards like they did last year. You assume that he will go to Bont. Can he go with Bont? Can Nash go with Bont? Can anyone go with Bont? Hopefully Bont just annihilates him, or hopefully Gorn just gets 175 again on Blackiston. It is Essendon that they have this week. Yeah, hopefully he just gets 175 on Essendon, and I don't have to worry about that. And Ando, the big Anderson this year. Anyway, don't panic. Once Real gets his groove back, should help Ando. That's what I was saying before. Real and Petrarca in and under, get the ball and get it to this man who's afraid to go and get his own ball, Anderson. He's more busy growing porn star moustaches than he is on actually going and getting the football. So less time on the dodgy moustaches, more time on getting the football is my advice to our Mr. Anderson. Yes, he is giving me the pip for someone that I bought for 620k, thinking he was a guaranteed top 8 midfielder, and he's delivering up turds, and he had the buy. I could have had, either Steele or LDU significantly cheaper, at least 100k cheaper for both of them, outperforming him. So he's in my bad books too. They said he's got plans for Dacos. They get plans if he gets off the chain. So basically, Frio's plan is to wait till Dacos hurts them and then do something about it. Good plan, Frio. There's a reason why you don't win premierships. Sorry, my Frio friends. There's probably a few of my Frio friends watching this at the moment, but I'm sorry, but your plan is to do something about him after he's already hurt you. How about you just lock him up at the beginning? As a matter of fact, for my team, how about you don't do that? Luca Donkey kick. Gorn, Baz, or Callahan, the C. I think the VC goes on Gorn, 100%. Then you got Baz or Callahan, and then maybe the captain on Baz. I'd be doing that if I was you. Baz versus the Eagles. Ooh, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt as an Eagles supporter. I'd be definitely chucking the VC on the big boy, Gorn, and the captain on Baz if that fails. I cannot see it failing, though. I mean, Gorn just annihilated Wits. I'm going to put the mockers on Gorn now. Just like when the commentators say they always kick a goal, I'm going to say, how does Gorn not destroy? Like, Blackiston was so terrible last week. They didn't even play him as a ruck for the last quarter or half. They played mostly Peter Wright. Right? So I assume Gorn destroys either Wright or Blackiston, whoever that may be. Hey, Jack, how you going? I'm going very well, thank you. Going to VC Gorn into Bont or Gorn into Sinclair. I don't mind the Sinclair. I thought that's a cheeky option that I also have myself. I did consider that. Sinclair plays Port, and he is one of the more consistent, averaging at a 124. What's his record like against Port? Not that I read too much into this. 118, 143, and 113. So I think that's a fair backup plan if you don't trust Bont. But I paid 700. Well, yeah, I paid 680k for Bont. So, and I paid 700,000 for Gorn. So they're my captain and vice captain. If I don't make them a captain and vice captain, they get big scores. I'll be very angry with myself after not paying for that for them. After paying that for them, so I'm just going to take that risk. But I totally understand if for the captain you want to go. I mean, if I had Baz, I'd be definitely tempted to go Baz. He could go really big this week. We saw what Heaney did. We saw what Grundy did against the Eagles as well. I mean, if you've got what's the ruck that plays the Eagles this week? So if we're saying, oh no, Geelong don't have a ruck. So yep, Baz the game. Better to leave it on the park, Seano. What, I should leave the football and quit. Go take my ball. I'm going home. Butters against Richmond could be good. Bont got 100 last year. Butters is due a big one. He's got 100, 142, and 122 over the last 3 years. I was trusting the money. Butters against Richmond. Yeah, I do like that as a backup. Butters just hasn't delivered for us yet. So I'm a little bit shy of Butters, but if I had to choose a Butters over Sinclair, I still might choose a Butters just because you can know Butters can bang out a 150 or a 160. I think our Sinclair, man, he's a nice average 125, 115 to 130 guy, where Butters can just go bang 160, 170 on a good day. And I think Baz is the same. We just saw him go big. So, and I still think, even with the tag, I think Bont is capable of destroying somebody. What happens when Nash goes to the forward line with Bont if they do that? You already used your Walsh VC. That is very brave, Luca Donkey Kick. He looked like he was going to do very well until it started pissing down with rain and he got the really hard tag from Petering. I was excited at the 50 at quarter time. I was very excited watching the game. And then what did he end up getting? Don't get me wrong, I'll take this 118 every week from him. If he goes out and gets this, I will take back almost everything I said about him. Almost. But yeah, are you going to take the 118? Who are you going into? Are you taking the 118, Luca Donkey? Do I have it out to captain if your VC score is good? I think 120 to 125 plus, I just take it. It's just too many times in the past I've been burnt when I haven't taken it. I'm usually pretty good with taking it, and I'll cop it on the chin. That's why I always like to do whoever I think is going to score the most, if possible, I make them my vice captain. So if Bont was playing early, he'd be my vice captain. I think Bont and Gorn here are most weeks are going to be my picks, as long as they don't play like both on like Saturday at the same time. Sorry about that. Or something like that. Just if you don't have those options, I always try and get the vice on someone. Like even, the doc is saying they might go to Dacos if he gets off the chain. Makes me a lot happier for my fantasy team that God told us that. Thank you, God. And Supercoach God as well. Yes, that could, like, he might be a cheeky go then as well. If they're not going to lock him down straight away. If he's already got 80 or 90 Supercoach points before they decide to lock him down, well, it's a bit late then, isn't it, for them, and it's a bit okay for Supercoach. But Wagner is a decent tagger, and he has put the clamps on people before. So that's just why I was a little bit dubious. But 120, 125. If Gorn was to get 125, I'd just take it. If Bont comes out and gets a 150, so be it. You never know. Supercoach, we've seen how fickle it is this year. my opponent in my league match had the captain on English last week. So it was a good idea. It just really didn't. I mean, he just got unlucky. English got injured and he got a disgustingly small score for his captain. So if you're giving up a 120 and then your captain just happens to get injured or gets a tag or something, you kick yourself. So you just take it, and that's why. And then that's why you try and have the guy you think is going to score the most. You have as your vice captain, if possible. Bit disappointing with Worrell tonight, but wet conditions didn't suit him. Yeah, as a Jack, as a intercept mark type of guy, how'd he go? 68. This would be his lowest score so far. He still looks really good. I wouldn't be worried too much. Wayne Malera is kind of, there pointing at us, saying, ha ha, I told you I can get a good score. I talked him up to everybody, and he got crap scores, and then now he's making everyone. Now he's making himself look good. He's got doing the most kickouts. I mean, if he could, he'd be a superstar if he could just do that every week. But he's done it quite a few weeks. He had a good week last week as well. Like, if you picked him and you kept him, you'd be pretty happy now. But you would have been a bit disappointed straight after you did it. Worrell will be fine. Worrell will be fine. Hey, Tiger Matty. Better to leave it on the park, the cash. That's what I'm kind of thinking, Matty. And I did go through my strategy of now that I know that I'm not winning the 50K. Yes, big. That's the big news of the day. Seano is not winning the 50K in Supercoach or finishing in probably the top 1,000. But I'm going to try and win my league. I'm going to try and crush them early. I'm going to try and get as many games on the board early and make sure I make the finals. And I'm going to make sure I make the finals with a few trades up my sleeve. So now any game I can pick up now before they get more cash gen in the bank and get a better team than me. And then I can just like pull it out of my ass when it comes to the finals and win there. That's the plan, to get to the finals, potentially top 4, definitely top 8, and then pull it out of my ass. Think you'll go Bont into Gorn? Like, you got to go the other way. You got to go Gorn into Bont for the way the matches are set up. Is that correct? Yeah, I'm not crazy there, right? Yeah, Gorn. And don't forget, so they both play on the same day. So if you're doing what I'm doing, Gorn plays at 11:15 and then the Bont plays at 5:30. So don't do this and then go to the pub and forget about it and drink 22 pints and then come home and say, oh shit, Max Gorn scored an 80, and I didn't have it on Gorn, or Max Gorn scored 210 and you've gone for Bont who got tagged and scored 50 or unlikely as that is. So if you're going to do the Gorn into Bont, make sure you got to be paying attention on Saturday. And I'm at work, but I can pay attention at work. So I know I will be working in the morning and I'll be in front of a computer and I'll have that game up on the side. And I'll be watching Gorn like an absolute hawk, and I will have it set up so I make sure that that's the only tricky thing if you're doing it on Saturday or they both play on the same day. Make sure that you're onto it. Jackson versus Steen, I think, is a fine option. Don't forget, it's still got it's not just Steen. There'll still be Cameron there. But I think Jackson will still score well. But it's Jackson and Steen versus Cameron and Darcy. So he's not just got Steen. It's a marathon, not a sprint. It is a marathon and not a sprint. And don't worry, Tiger Matty, I believe that I truly believe that I will reach my pass mark of top 10%. I think which is the top 18,000. I think I'll be there by the buys. I think I'll be in the top 18,000 by the buys. That might not happen, but that's what I believe. And I believe my team will be strong, but I don't know if it'll be full premium because there's already writing on the wall, right? Just even like in how much, if you look at how much your team is worth, My team is worth 11,036,000. I have $0 in the bank. Well, and this is before this week, probably. The best teams are worth about 11.4. If you go to the ranking, they're worth about 11.4. So they've almost got 400K. It's almost a one full primo more than me already. And we're only at round 5. So this guy is 11.37. So he's 330K ahead of me, the top team. So, you know, it's not quite a full primo, but it's close to an extra primo. So it's a long way to come back. And that's why this week I went Pharaoh, because I'm hoping that Pharaoh in the long run makes me more money than Steam. And then Duff Tyler, I could literally lose 10Ks on Duff Tyler this week. So he's got a break even of 63, and he's playing against Geelong, but he's just not getting the CBAs. He's not getting the hit outs. He's not getting a chance in the ruck. That's what I'm trying to say. I know what I'm trying to say. I just can't say it. I would be so happy, not just for him, but for the Eagles, if they drop Flynn, because Flynn, let's face it, it's not in like Flynn. It should be out like Flynn, because he's just getting crushed every week. And why you got a middle-aged dude who's not doing that well, who's never going to be in the future of the team in 5 or 6 years, playing and getting crushed every week. I mean, and you're going to bring in Bailey Williams. Well, I'm sorry to give you the big tip. Bailey Williams is going to get crushed every week as well. Let Duff Tyler and Reed do the ruck 50-50. They're both young guys. One does the ruck, one rests up forward. Don't have Flynn in your team. Don't have Bailey Williams in your team. And just let them have a go. Are people going to monster them? Yes. Are they going to get destroyed? Yes. Is that going to happen anyway with Flynn or Bailey Williams? Yes. Let them get the exposure. Let Duff Tyler go up against Max Gawn. Will he get destroyed? Yes. But let the man get some experience. He might mean in 2 to 3 years' time he'll be, the best ruckman in the league. Maybe. But give him the experience when he's young. And same with Reed. Seems okay. And they're both, decent forwards. Let them have a go. Karen, you may not have a red dot to use as your captain. That's not a terrible position to be in. Just who are your options then, Karen? You're just going to have to, if that's the case, you're going to just have to have a swing at it. I did that in round 1 with Butters, and it didn't really work out. If you've got a Gawn or a Bailey Smith, I'd kind of be going there. If you've got the Bont, maybe you risk it. You don't have a red dot. That's pretty good if you don't have a red dot. Tiger Matty Langley, I'm out to 20,000. Worst start ever. I'm with you, mate. I'm at 60,000. Anyway, we'll aim to beat your 231 rank. Maybe not, but got to try. Yeah, you had a really good season last year, mate, and you're a very good player. 231, from 20,000, I think people have won it from being 20,000 before, There isn't, legitimately, there's not, how many points are there between us? So, number 1 has 8,500 points in total. Seano has 7,570. So I'm about 900 and change points behind him. It's a long way to catch up, but a couple of good captain scores, a couple of non-good captain scores from him, you can jump. You can jump. Now, unfortunately, this guy has a very good team. I looked at this guy's team and I'm like, oh, his team looks like my team, but better. Stuart Clark, he's still got Windsor. He's got Ash. So look, his back line's nothing special, right? Gone early on Dirksen. So it's not like he's got a super duper mega team in the back line. Bont, Butters, but see, this is what he's a little bit smarter than a Seano, and he kind of worked out the buys better. He went Sarong, Merritt, and Steele. He said stuff you early buys. I'm not picking any of your primos in the early buys. I'm going to go all the value guys, and they all worked out for him. And he went Dersma, which is nice. He's got Gorn. I don't know if he got Gorn this week. He must have had Gorn last week. She's Pickett. He's got Bolton, Gothard. So look, his team doesn't look that great, right? His team doesn't look that much better than your and my team. Let's face it. He just played the buys better. Now, I predicted that my players that I picked were going to do better than these players coming out of the buys. I'm looking at you, Anderson, but that's just not happening. Like, Dacos kind of is, but he was out. He had a buy and he was out. So he's kind of down 2 weeks. Like, Sarong been a bit up and down, but he smashed it out of the park twice. Merritt's just plugging along doing Merritt things. And still, look, he got a 147. I don't think my Anderson's got a 147 yet. So, you know, he played the buys very well. And he did the same up here. I think he probably got in Stewart last week, but he's had Clark. He only really had Ash out of the buys here. He had Gorn, which he might have probably already had Gorn, which is also not a buy player. And he probably already had Pickett, which is not a buy player. He played very smart. Like, he played very smart. And so, but his team doesn't look that much different from ours. In some ways, that's a good thing. In other ways, it's not a great thing because it means it's going to be hard for us to catch him. It means we're going to have to zig when he zags a little bit. But like I said, I don't expect to win the 50K, but I would love to win my league. And I still think I can win my league, and I still think I can make top 10%. But look at the third team, he says. Look at the third team. The Wit Bandits. McKercher, Houston, Windsor, Jack, Sarong, Selwood, Sinclair, Lindsay. Yep, looks like a back line like a lot of us have. He went the mid-pricer that didn't really work out. Butters, he went Dawson, who could be cheap for some of us soon. Non-buy. Again, they played the buys better than us. Put my hand up. I was wrong. The early buys made a big difference to getting a head start. Like, these guys, they're almost 1,000 points ahead of us because they were just smarter. They just said, all right, I'm not picking early buy players, and they didn't, and it worked out for them. Jack Ross, again, his team doesn't look, I assume he's got McAndrew down there at flex. He's got the Gorn and the Grundy, which is nice. Would have loved to have done that I would have loved to have gone guns and rookies and just had Gorn, Grundy, Butters, Bont, these three guys. Here could have had maybe Sinclair, you know, one other one, maybe Ash or one other one. And down here could have had Pickett and rookies, and we'd be at the same position as they are. But, you know, hindsight, we know. Does anyone know? Has anyone heard? Is it going to be around 0 next year? Please, real God, not you, Supercoach God, unless you have some power. But Supercoach God, if you could, you know, help out too. No more round 0 next year. No to round 0. Remember you're back in barrack for Richmond, so you're used to being on the back foot. You know, a lot of people are looking at Taranto, mate. With you know what else to put their teams out there? Anyone else want me to put their team up on the screen? Did we get to you? Did we do you, mate? I'm not too sure if we did you, mate. So we're going to do you again if we didn't. Sinclair, like I said, don't be trading at Jordan Clark. Worrell, down week. I don't think we did do you because I don't remember seeing Worrell. Fonte, probably time to move him on soon. Was Fonte, tell me, those of you that got Fonte, did he work out or not? Do you guys think he worked out? I don't know if he made enough money for me if I had bought him in to think he worked out. But then he's an easy up. If he's an easy bang some money on him to get a Nass or a Whitfield or a Ash, I guess he did work out. What about Fonte owners out there? Do you think it worked out? Grill, Sarong, Bont, Butters, Anderson, us poor Anderson people. We should start like an AA club for Anderson owners. My name is Sean, and I'm a Noah Anderson owner. Hi, Sean. Brune, Dersma. Why didn't I just pick my Eagles kid? Why didn't I just pick the Eagles kids? Gawn and Grundy again, very nice. I'll probably be trying to get this. I got a feeling Grundy's going to start smacking it again soon. Like if 184 isn't regarded as smacking it at the moment, but this is the Eagles. I think Grundy's going to actually start smacking it against decent ruckman. So I think the sooner my team looks like this, the sooner I'll be happier. Sheasel, Flanders, Cook, Robson. So yep, very, very nice, buddy. I like it. Again, looks very reasonable. Going to get 200 Supercoach points this week. Now, Essence is coming from Bombers supporter, Muzz. Everyone's talking about Blackiston being the voodoo on rucks and, things happening to them and stuff, but they might not even, they didn't name Brian, right? He didn't get named as an emergency or anything. Any chance they just try and play? No. Who is named as the, they still name him as the follower, but they did play a lot of Peter Wright. But why? Peter Wright's probably your best forward, right? You don't want to play him too much in the forward. Him and your the new kid, Nate Caddy, who looks kind of exciting. At least you've got a bit of exciting stuff going on there. Parrish makes it through. Parrish gets named. This will be the week Parrish scores 120 because we all dropped him this week. Just going to have a bit of a drink. Yeah, Tiger Matty. One of the reasons I did so well, especially at the beginning last year, and I kicked myself this year, is because I had Gawn. And the year before that, I didn't have Gawn. And Gawn came out the first 5 or 6 weeks and destroyed it. I remember what happened. I don't want to blame the centre bounce boys because I love them. But I was watching a video with Joe, and we both saw Gawn and we saw he had a bit of a niggle, and we're like, a bit of a niggle, old man, maybe I won't get him. And then he came out and smashed 150 every week. Oh, this is 2 seasons ago. And I'm like, last season I said, screw that. I'm not letting that happen again. I'm getting Gawn. And I got Gawn, I made him a captain, and he got some massive scores, including a big one like that 199 that Sherry got. And I was right up there. It just like catapulted me right up the pointy end. And I managed to hold on to it for most of the season, and I dropped off a little bit at the end of the season. But getting those big captain scores, it definitely can catapult you up the rankings a lot. So getting them right and having, sorry to say this, Karen, but I'm good at answering questions before I actually put them up on the screen. I'm really good at that. Yeah, so I'm very, very good at answering the questions before they're up the screen. But yeah, a good captain score or two can really push you up the rankings. That's why it's kind of nice to have a loophole, Karen. If you're making trades this week and you're getting rid of a loophole, like Cox, but he plays tonight. Yes. Oh, you've got Cox from Freo, Mason Cox. Yeah, who plays tonight? Yeah, so that's a bit rough. Yep. I feel your pain. Did you say who you've got? Who you got as your options? Mate, the great. Mine, please, mate. Yeah, mate. Nice team, mate. We did have a look, right? We did have a look. Mate's beast. Yeah, I like it. See, I think you're a bit like me and like others. A lot of our teams look fairly similar. They're not that far apart. Most teams were very cookie cutter at the beginning. Like who's at best in the forward line, there's 1 or 2 different players, right? Like everyone's forward line looks almost the same, except everybody else has Cook in their forward line, and it makes me sad to see that I don't. But pretty much everyone's forward line is the same, and these injuries have just shaken things up a little bit. Like everyone had Petrarca, everyone had Rosie. The back lines looked The back line was a bit different. Some people went Nass, some people went Sinclair, but everyone had Rosie pretty much. Then some people went Clark, or some people tried a mid-pricer like I did. It didn't work out. And then the midfield, most of us either had 4 or 5 there. So the teams are changing up a little bit, but they still are pretty similar, which in some ways means we will drag some of those teams in that top couple of thousand who have just had good buy rounds. We're going to drag them back. They got a bit lucky in best 18, and you're going to pass those teams. But then there are other teams that, like we saw that round 1 team, the rank 1 team, who already had those by non-round 0 playing buy guys in, who are doing very good, better than our guys that we picked who aren't who did play round 0. And so, they're going to be hard to catch. But a couple of good captain scores, a couple of good choices, a pod even here and there. Don't go too poddy, but a pod here and there isn't don't go pod for pod's sake. But if you believe in a player, go for it. Fonte, great. Got her. Tigers this week. After that, maybe a trade for Fonte. Fonte should make 100K. If he makes 100K, I think it's a win. Makes 100K, goes up. I was just going to leave it on my, make sure I don't, just for anyone new coming along. If you are new and you would like to like the channel, if you like the fact that I've got $0 in the bank, you think that's funny, like the channel. So we'll leave that. But please don't let me click on do it like I normally do it. Ridley is back this week and he is 400 and something K. You reckon he could get some cash, Muzz? We said this earlier, buddy. 400K pass. If he's not a keeper, I don't want him. So Ridley this year, is he top 6 to 8? He has been in the past. He wasn't last year. I'm not getting any more mid prices. If I'm going to make cash, it's going to be by getting rookies and not mid prices. I want to downgrade to a rookie. I don't want to upgrade from like a Fonte to a Ridley or something. I don't want to do that. It's too risky. If he shits the bed and doesn't give you the money that you want, then you're stuck with him. And then it's a trade. You're burning a trade for nothing. Like the Fonte I can get behind, because these guys, they made 100K and they got him cheap. If a 300K, if Ridley was 300K, I'd be a lot more interested. I'd be like, this guy can make us some money. But that's also what I thought about Parrish, what I thought about Young, and I thought about Blackiston. The only real mid prices that worked out this year, Brune. Can anyone else name a mid pricer, say between, I guess, Kitty, but he was kind of cheap, but he's almost a rookie price, Kitty. The only real mid pricer I can think between 250 and 400 that's really worked is Brune, who's in starting teams. None of the others really worked. Right to play more ruck, yeah. You know what Gorn's going to do he should do it to both of them, but he did end of last week's game. I noticed, Muzz, that the rights, they just gave up on Blackiston. They said, you're not doing anything. We're going to play more right, which for an Essendon, if I was an Essendon supporter, I'd be a bit disappointed because he's pretty damn good forward. You guys are like us at the Eagles. You desperately need a ruck. I didn't start Parrish. You didn't stop Parrish. I don't know who stopped Parrish, but I've got a problem with them. Whoever stopped him from scoring. You're all on that. You're all on the Ridley train. Karen says you could keep English, but I'm trying to get Gorn in. Yeah, doesn't this whole no timeline BS, like both with Richards and with English? Like, what's this crap with Richards? We're going to name him in the team, but then the coaches come out and said he probably won't play. Just leave him at home. Why are you flying him over to Adelaide? Just leave him at home. Let him sit on the couch and enjoy gather round and, watch the TV. why are you even taking him if you think there's a really good chance he's not going to play? I mean, Bulldogs have won every game they've played so far already, right? Just leave the poor bugger at home. Like, Jesus. What's he turning into another Scott? He's turning into a Scott. Beveridge turning into a Scott. Like, God's sake, just say what you're going to do and leave the guy at home, for God's sake. And your English, just give us an idea. I heard 1 to 12, 3 to 6, 3 to 12. If English comes back next week, there will be a rant. There will be a rant. See, as usual, Karen, I had my rant and then I click on you. Then I click on your message. I get to your messages up there eventually, but I usually answer them and have my rant before they do. Your train wreck? What, did you post your train wreck, Maddie? Sullivan Roby, yeah. Another one we were looking at pre-season, Roby. Is he named on the bench or is he named on the field? He's a kind of like a high half forward. Am I getting that right? Or mid forward? I think he's got mid forward dual position going on. He's named there. Anyone? I mean, you've seen what they do with time on ground, right? Are they going to kill the Paul Sardis kid again? Paul Sardis got destroyed last year by time on ground. Are they going to do it again? How much is Sardis this year? I mean, he gets 30 possessions in the VFL every week, right? How do we spell his name? T-S-A-T. 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 I want it in this league. All right, just let's make sure we click on here. Like, he's a free agent. Of course he's a free. Maybe I should pick him up. T-S-T-A-T. 223. Oof. Someone to watch. He's been getting big numbers in the in the VFL. Let's have a look. Where are you? Let's see what type of scores he's been getting in the VFL. But the problem with the coach down there is he's not giving any time on ground. So he's got fantasy points, a 69, which is not great, but then 120 and 130 with like 34 disposals, and here he's got 36 disposals. I mean, how's this kid not getting a game in Essendon? And God for sake, give him some CBAs. Give him 50, 60% CBAs. For God's sake. Don't just give him 25% CBAs and play him 50% talk. I mean, he could be one at 220 if he got, if he didn't get scotted, he could be one to have a look at in a few weeks. I just can't, I've already got one Essendon rookie sitting on my bench, which doesn't seem like he's ever going to play. Seems to be gives me hope that he might play every week. After I brought him in at the last moment at the beginning of the season, after they said they were going to play him. When they said they were going to play him, and then I was going to trade him out, and he survived, and now he's stuck there. At least he's a blue pole, I guess. Be like Dacos last week. He's on the bench debut this week. So that's not hype or Bomber fans really want him out there to perform. I mean, like the Eagles, right? At least the Eagles are playing the kids. Yes, we're getting flogged by 100 points a week, but, some weeks. But we actually won a couple of games. I can't complain. The kids won, and the kids look good. Even in the flogging by Sydney, the kids looked okay. We're always going to get flogged by Sydney. By that amount of points, yeah, 100-point minimum. I'm surprised we've played so well this year, actually. I'm surprised. I was penciling in a few 100-point losses. But Sydney are a very good team, and I expected to lose by 100 points. But the kids still looked good. Got to play the kids if your team is like a bottom 4 team. And Essendon are looking like a bottom 4 team. But he looks awesome. He's got the numbers in the VFL, but I bet he's getting 70% CBAs and probably 70% time on ground. if he doesn't get that, you'll just get dropped again, I assume. You're not as clever as your group, Tiger Matty. I think you are. I think you're underdoing yourself. I think you are as clever. Bojangles FC. To look up your team. Yeah. That's right. I know you're having a bit of a rough season, but you were, what did you say? You got down to top 200. You were in the top 100 for a while. Didn't you get down to like the 50? So anyone, if you're in the top 50 at any point, usually you know what you're doing. Yeah, overall rank. You know what? 21,000 is not that bad. I don't think it's that bad. I think, like the rest of us, we didn't have a crystal ball. We didn't know that the early buys were going to suffer so much. We didn't know Noel Anderson was going to spend more time grooming his mustache than getting the ball. How did we know that? You start a Brayshaw at least, and he's coming back. I mean, he could just blow it up for you. I almost started Brayshaw myself until, the only reason I didn't start Sarong is because of the whole what are they doing in the midfield crap going on at Freo at the beginning of the season with Jackson in there, and they had Murphy Reed running through there, and Bolton, and half the bloody team runs through the midfield. I'm like, well, I won't start Sarong. He has one bad game and then he smashes the other two out of the park. Mate, I'm getting rid of Carroll over Dyson Sharp because I have exactly $0. So if I get rid of Sharp, I can't afford him. The only way I can make this trade happen is by getting rid of Carroll. Now, I still think Carroll could have some money to make. He's got a role where he can get a decent score. Like he's got a 54, 59, 40, 44 and a 40. This is probably, that's enough of a sample size for me to say he's not going to score regularly more than that. But that doesn't mean he can't just come and get like a 70 this week. He plays in the back line. And then if he back that up with a 60 and a 55, he goes up another 50K, 50, 60K. Now, I would love that 50, 60K. And my original plan was not to do this and to drop Duff Tyler down to Steen. And then I could afford it. And then I could keep Carroll. But the more I listen to the outside noise, which I probably shouldn't, the more people are talking up Farrow and saying he's pretty much a must-have. He's got a lot more scoring potential than Steen. Steen could be dropped after this week. Maybe they just keep him for the Freo game, for the two-ruck situation. Then they chuck him if it doesn't work. And the other thing I'm thinking is, if Steen comes out and gets an 80, a 70 or an 80 this week, I can still get him. I can still drop Duff Tyler, make some money, pray that Duff Tyler stays near his break-even. Say he comes out and gets a 75. He's going to go up 50K to 172. That's not out of reach to me. So I would sell Duff Tyler, who's worth about 240 for 170, make myself 40, 50, 70K or so, and I've got the better rookie in my team, and I've had another look at Steen and made sure he didn't get dropped if I want him. But if Farrow comes out on the opposite side, if Farrow comes out and say he has a really good game, say he gets an 80, he goes up 38K to 200K. So then I'm thinking maybe I've missed the boat. That's an extra 30K, maybe. And then especially if he has a really good game, say he gets like a 95 and he goes up to 220, then I've definitely missed the boat. Then I'm like, I don't know whether I should get him. He's too expensive now, blah, blah, blah. Poor old Seano. Poor old Seano. Why all these things happen to Seano? So that is the reason I'm getting him. And that is the reason that, I kind of regret. Like you guys, you probably don't remember. or you might not be watching. I got Duff Tyler over Cook at the last moment because this is what happened. Sharp was listed to play. He had a big bloody green dot next to him and he was listed to play. And I'm like, oh, Sharp's going to make me some money. Oh, what I'll do is instead of getting Cook, I'll get Duff Tyler because I would have had to get rid of Sharp to get Cook. And so that's what I did. And then he was a laid out and I'm stuck with Duff Tyler, who I didn't expect to do great, but I just hoped that he could back up the 100. I knew like a 37, 100, a 42 and a 39. I was just hoping that one of these could be a 60 or a 70, but he's actually made his money now. He would have to get another 100 or 75 or stuff to start going up. If he's going to do it, this is a week where he might actually do it. If he could just give him some ruck time against the Geelong Rucks. If he's going to beat any Rucks, it's going to be Geelong Rucks. For God's sake, give him some time in there. But they brought in, what's his face? Bailey Williams. So I don't know. Let's have a look at that. Does that mean that Flynn is getting dropped or that they're going to play the both of them? So Port Adelaide and St Kilda. Here we go. So I don't know, but yeah, let's view. So Flynn is still named on ground. So that means he is not getting dropped. So Bailey Williams, I mean, Duff Tyler could get dropped. I mean, and for me, I would be angry, but Supercoach wise, it wouldn't be too bad because it means it doesn't lose any money for me. But the fact he comes in, makes me feel like they're at least considering playing Williams. There's been a big call for it. Maybe Williams doesn't get a game. But if Williams gets a game, a forward needs to go out. And the only two forwards here are Owies and Duff Tyler. Owies is a small, which by the way, Carlton fans, if you would like Owies back, you're more than welcome to have him back. Fool's gold. We got some fool's gold there from Carlton. So if you would like Owies back, you're more than welcome to have him back. Didn't want him when you first sent him over, and I still don't want him. Probably a harsh Seano, but that's the way I feel. Small forward, tall forward, backman wing. Tom McCarthy's 100% playing. I think Ryan Marrick is 100% playing. Josh Lindsay, you better play. You better be playing. So I really don't know what they're doing here. Whatever they do is probably going to make me angry. Will Ross Laws. Will the Blacks and Kurtz get a hat-trick? First area, then English, next Gorney. Better not. Or I'll be the first one round his house. I'll be waiting for him. I'll be waiting for him when he gets back from Adelaide at his front door. You better not. Ross talking about the Blackiston. Hey, Wayne Randalls, how you going? Hope you're doing well, mate. Mate the Great. You want Sarong over Farrow. But not the Freo kid Sarong. Which oh, you mean Jai Sarong. Jai Sarong, yes. Even though he just had the one big score and he's pushing it, but I mean, he's got a low break even now. I can totally understand. But yeah, he hasn't scored great. He could go straight back to getting 40 or 50 again this year. He played West Coast. Please, mate, never forget, if the player you're looking at had a big score and you're like, yay, he's on fire, look to see if he played West Coast. Because if he played West Coast, he's probably not going to do that again. So Jai Sarong getting 126, that's going to be his highest score all season. He did look good, but it was against West Coast in a flogging. So I expect anywhere from 50 to 75 most weeks. So if we go to the projected, say they projected he gets 71. Let's give him that. I think that's a fair prediction. I think that's probably what he'll get. He will go up 48K this week. That's good. And then another 48K the next week. So that's worthwhile. If you're buying him in and he goes 70-70, you've just made 90-something K. Over 3 weeks, you make 100K. That's fine. That's good. You know, I think that's perfectly fine. Bring on the Blackiston curse, Wayne. Wayne, don't make me ban you. Don't make me ban you from chat, Wayne. Bringing on the Blackiston curse. I assume you don't have Gorn. Even though it could be the Seano curse. I did get Sherry in. He got injured. I had English from the beginning, so maybe it's not the Seano curse, but I'm getting Gorn in, so I won't be surprised. Hey, Mass, how are you? Oh, this is a tricky question. Gotta get myself organized, get the brain, get the hair right, gotta have a drink of water. Who would we like, chat? Farrow or Blamiers or take Cook's 63? Blamiers' role has sort of changed a bit, right? Am I thinking that right? Any North Melbourne fans out there? Blamiers hasn't quite got the same role as he had when he was getting the 70s and 80s early on. Farrow, I think Farrow could get you anything. I don't think this 90, I think, isn't. They chipped it around a lot the last quarter, but he does have a very good kick. So he doesn't need a lot of it to get the ball. But I'm thinking I'd be having Cook's 63. I think I would take Cook 63. It's money. It's points in the bank. It's points in the bank. I think Farrow or Blamiers, they could go overs or they could go unders or they could go the same. I think it's a crapshoot. It really is a crapshoot, Mass. I was absolutely useless there and I sat completely on the fence. But if it was me, I'd probably take the 63 and just live with it. Wayne says you still got Blackiston. I got rid of that chocolate fireman last week. I got rid of that other chocolate fireman from Essendon of Parish this week. Cook's 63 or try Farrow. Cook, don't trust Essendon players this season, says Maddie. Already have Jaggers 53, so the 63 might be even safer then. I think we're all going to have Jaggers 53, so it's not going to be a big deal. Every team in the competition has him, and every team in the competition should be playing him on the field. And so I think unless people have loopholed him, like maybe I could have done that. But I just expected Jagger to get more than 53 and to get, I don't bother putting him on the bench because I figure he's going to do better than that every week. Maybe he needs to be an option in the future. But stupid Carlton not playing him where he's supposed to play. But like I said earlier on, I hope they're just protecting the kid in the rain. Protect the kid in the rain and let him loose again when it's dry to be a gun again. Because, God, he looked good in those first couple of weeks. Lindsay D6 probably worse. I'm having to go Lindsay out of the Lindsay-Selwood game. My rookie roulette, I'm choosing Lindsay over Selwood, so that'll probably go the opposite way this week. The only good thing is, Lindsay could have get dropped. Who knows what the hell goes through Minnie McWalter's minds, but Lindsay's another one a bit like Farrow. At least he's a good kick. He doesn't need too much of it. And he took some kick-outs. I believe he took kick-outs. Give him lots of kick-outs. Give him all the kick-outs. As far as I'm concerned, give him all the kick-outs. Why not? Helps my team, and I would like to see that. West Coast, is this kick? It's CBAs. Nope. Kick-ins, kick-outs. Nope, my team. Josh Lindsay, he took 5. He played on with 3 of them. So good. Keep doing that. So potentially he's got scoring potential. It's just he's in a team that gets flogged. Hopefully, well, not hopefully, but there's always a chance that there's 1,000,000 points scored and then he gets a lot of kick-ins. So you never know. He can have a decent game. He does have decent game, chance. As usual, Maths, I talk all about what you said and then I put it up on the screen. One of these days, I'll get it right. One of these days, I'll put your message up first and then I will talk about it. But if you're following us in chat, you can reading along. And if you're following us in chat and reading along, there are 18 people watching at this very moment and we have 8 likes. So that's a 10 short. That's 10 short of, actually, no, we have 17 likes. So that's very good. Well done. You get the Seano approval. Chat. Everyone out there in chat gets the Seano approval for liking. And if you haven't liked already, you might as well like now. It's very nice. 17 likes. I like it. I like getting 17 likes. I'm not have Jagged 53 in your 23 looped him with Pharaoh. As was worried I had to take Blamiers for Murdoch. That's why you did it, Corey. You don't have Jaggers 53 in your 23. Looped him with Pharaoh, as was worried. You had to take Blamiers for Murdoch. So you're saying you're not getting that. You're gonna run Pharaoh and Blamiers, it sounds like. Seems you got a chance of getting more. You got a chance of getting more. No, I think that's fine. You loop Jagger, Wayne. You're a smarter man than me. I could have done it. I chose not to. I'm looping Blamiers, and I will then worry about what to do afterwards. If he scores well, I can swap him out for Grill, I guess, even though I kind of like Grill. Or I could potentially swap him out for Pharaoh. I could put Grill back and I could put Pharaoh. Oh, no. Yeah, Saturday. If I do it, the game starts just afterwards. No. So if Blamiers does really well, he'll play for Grill. But I think Grill's role is a good role. So he'll need to get... Blamiers will have to score more than 70 for me to take it, I think. If he scores this 66, I'll probably... That'll be close. That'll be one of the ones where I won't know what to do. Like I didn't know what to do for you. I don't know if it's under 60, I go with Grill. If it's between 60 and 70, I don't know what to do. Kind of where I'm at. Everyone has Jagger's score. Yeah, that's right. But looping him was smart for the people who did it. Looping him was smart. Yeah, Karen, you looped him. Very nice. Very nice. It will be Grill and Pharaoh as for Captain Murdoch. Captain Murdoch. Milan. The man from Italy, who's not really from Italy. Please let him come back and be... I miss him already. I know he's only played a few games, and I miss him already. I feel like he's the heart and the soul of the team, and he's only played, 2 matches. Pity he's not going to get DPP, but, maybe we'll have him in our team for another 6 rounds, and maybe he'll get DPP. Somehow, I don't think we're going to be expecting scores like this all the time, but, he's going to make us some money. If he can get 75 plus, he'll be on my field. Captain Jakes. When yes. So I didn't even think about that. I'm going to what am I going to do if I want to captain Gorn? Gorn and Essendon, so I can't use Sharp. I'll use Murdoch. So yeah, worst comes to worst. That means I don't get... Murdoch comes on for Grill, I guess. Then I have to take whatever Blamiers gives me. Even if he drops a 20. If Gorn gets 180 or something, I'll bring Murdoch on for Grill. And then do it that way. That's the only... yeah, that's... Jarks, when do you play? Saturday. I could always bring you on for Pharaoh. That's what I'll do. I'll bring Jakes on and hope that what if he's a late in? Imagine if Richards is a late out and he's a late in and they got his captain score. Ooh. Oh, have to be careful about that. That could be Saturday. A good thing I'm I'm at work, but I'll be able to watch that. I'll have to have an eagle eye on that. If I do try to do it that way, that could be, imagine if I did that and he came out and got a 40. That'd just be my season. That'd just be the kind of season I'd be having. And your VC went off. Nice work, Corey. Smart thinking. Yeah, Cook was, really, that's one of the trades. It's another one of these late outs that I'm very dirty on, the late out on Shark. I'm sharp because I wouldn't have had Duff Tyler. I'd have an extra 100K in the bank. I'd have Cook, who's going to make 150, maybe 200K. Cook might make you guys, and I'm not going to have that 200K. The only, I guess we all have ups and downs. The not being able to get Watkins, I guess, was a reasonable thing. Not that he didn't make 50K, but I was very close to getting Watkins last week at the inflated price. And how my season's going, I'm surprised I didn't. But I kind of dodged a bullet because I had other problems. If I didn't have other problems through injuries, then I probably would have had Watkins as well. So sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't, I guess. Sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. What do we reckon, crew? Have we had enough of Seano? Does anyone else want me to look at their teams? Again, thank you, Supercoach God, if you're still awake, for hanging out with us. Thank you, Karen, if you're still awake, if you haven't fallen asleep to the soothed, sultry sounds of Seano's voice, which is not a thing. I think if everybody is happy and nobody wants me to pop their team up on the screen, I think we might call it for the night. I'm sure it's probably getting a bit late for you guys in the eastern states. What are we looking at? About 1 a.m. So all good to you, Maddie. So once again, if you haven't already subscribed, please do that. Please like if you're watching the video now or in the future. That'd be awesome if you could like. Leave me a comment. Tell me what your trades are if you're watching in the future. And don't forget to join the Discord. And next time, maybe we will put your screen or your team up at the screen if you put it in my Discord, or you just join the live stream and we do it. I hope everyone had a great day, and I appreciate everyone's support. We're going to go through. Karen, you are still awake. That's nice to hear. So I'm going to go through as usual. I like to thank everybody in chat I can, and I'm hoping that we hope that one day we're big enough that this will take forever to do, or it'll just be too much. But at the moment, it's very doable. So thank you, Karen. Thank you, Mass. Thank you, Maddie. Thank you, Corey. Thank you, Wayne. Thank you, Supercoach God. I'll come and check out your next live stream. You're probably going to be doing one the next day or two. Don't forget to get over there and subscribe to that legend, everybody. Maddie the Great, Ross Laws, Muzz32, Jack Blucher, and who else have we got? Nightfall, Kumar, Paraspole, Willpower, Max Shuey, do the maximum amount of Shueys. Nightfall, sounds like a video game. Seano and Seano sounds like a good. And earlier on, before the footy, let's bring out Ralph one more time.
Me fail English? Me fail English? That's impossible.
And we'll also end with my idea of me having $0 on the bench. Or $0 in the bank.
So stupid.
Am I?
Am I? Idiot!
There you go. Valtech and Kuma and then Rangatank. Thank you, Rangatank. All right, crew. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for all the support, and I hope you all have a great day, and I will talk to you all again very soon.